Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Friday. Terry Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, Muppeteer, and international trademarked artist and speaker. Isn't that enough? Ghostbusters, Men in Black, Dune, which seems to be a big one this time. The original Dune, yes, I worked on it. Yes, I stunt doubled for a little bit. Did a lot of stuff on that Dune. And on Ghostbusters. Didn't do a lot of stunting on Ghostbusters. And on Captain EO, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have questions about things, Google my name, read the 2 Wikipedia pages that are about me. Yes, I have 2. And also read, just catch some of the stuff that's out there online. Some true, some false, probably. But the thing is then you have questions to ask. And today's the day you can ask me questions. It will be a little shorter as I am 65 years old. Why does that matter? Because I am going to be going to the Social Security office and talking about Medicare. So this should be an e-ticket for me. I love new adventures. And this should be definitely an adventure. How are you today? You saw that I posted this weekend is Candlelight. Are you going? Are you checking it out? Are you one of those Disney files that never misses Candlelight? Please talk to me about it in the comments. I will not be there. I have a few other things to do. And then you also saw a little tiny postage stamp about Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So I got to go to see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio last Wednesday at the Academy's Theater, the Linwood Dunn Theater in Hollywood. One of the tribe. And what's that you say? Let's talk about it. Okay. Patreon.com/Terri Hardin is Terry's Tribe. That's my Patreon page. It's full of like-minded people who want to help each other, do good with each other, and just chat about all things film, fun, whatever you like, we talk about it. Okay. It's very, very cool. Right now we're talking about, we have a chef in there and we're talking about baking. And then there's just a plethora of people as we talk about things that are just anywhere from Disney to Lego to what do you like? Okay. What do you like? Theater. A lot of it is the arts. I won't lie to you, but being an artist is being passionate about what you love. So we have people in there who are cast members from the park, and we have people that are past cast members, and we've got people in there, and each person sits and discusses whatever feels good and feels great. Right now, we're working on trying for the year 2023. This is December, and this is Celebrate and Fix month. So we are looking to see what we want to do. You make a plan to do in the new year. And one of the things we want to do is to gather. The Terry's Tribe wants to get together face to face. We're all very excited to see each other face to face. So we're working on that location where people can all come together and do that. And for $5 a month, you can be in on it too. Test it out for a month. That's just $5. Means you got to skip the Starbucks. But I think you may find a place that will just catch your heart. It is a beautiful, beautiful, it's a bed of feathers, guys. It really is. It's a bed of feathers. And it's not because of me. It's because of the whole group. And it's just a pleasure to be a part of Terry's Tribe. And yeah, I started it. But sometimes you start something and then you just let it go, right? You give someone an idea and then you step back and you let that percolate in a lot of people, and then you just release it, because then it spreads its wings and becomes this beautiful thing that you never knew was possible. And that's my page. I started out rocky. I started out stumbling. It wasn't attractive. Many followers told me it needed to be updated. I updated it, and we're going to update it again next year. But I have the help of the people who are part of Terry's Tribe. So patreon.com/Terri Hardin, $5 a month. And you're not locked in for any amount of time, just a month. Check it out. See if it's for you. It's a very, very fun time of the year, time of the season. So lots of things. We're going to talk about what we want to see in the new year. Anniversary gifts, for example, and things like that I have not done yet, but want to do. One of the patrons said, one of the tribe members said, "It's my anniversary. I joined a year ago." And that really touched my heart. So I said, maybe I ought to do some things to acknowledge that. So that may be something we do in the new year. We're also talking about maybe gathering for a Disney cruise. So there's a lot of things that we talk about there. We have the broadcast I do before this one on Mondays and Fridays. And then we have a Zoom call that we do where we actually have a conversation. And that's all part of your $5 a month investment. And you may be saying, as you sit here watching for free, why $5? Because I am a very busy artist. I don't think I need to tell you that. And so for me to have skin in the game, I want you to have skin in the game. But I don't want you to put in your whole body. Just show me that you're vested, and your $5 a month shows me you're vested, that you're willing, that my presence with you live and the Patreon page means something to you, and that's $5 a month. And that's it. That's it, straight up. Okay. I have found that when things are free, people don't treat them as well as they should when they have to pay a little. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm not at all. I'm just saying for me, this is what I need. Also allows me to do this channel for free, continue to do a channel like this for free. But it allows me to come and give you my time. And if you talk to people in the tribe, I give a lot of it. Okay. And time is the most valuable resource and the most valuable gift you can give. So I do it a lot on that page for $5 a month. So I hope you'll join us. It's always fun. It's always fascinating. And everybody is so flippin' amazing. Yeah, just so amazing. So as I mentioned to you, little tiny thing in the corner next to Candlelight about Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but if I haven't, or you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to give any questions that you would like in the side. But Guillermo del Toro and I became very, very good friends years ago in 2009. In 2009, Guillermo contacted me when I was teaching pumpkin classes, and I know exactly, you know how very monumental moments happen, and there you are standing there and lightning bolt hits and you never forget where you were when lightning struck. Well, this was a lightning struck moment. I was teaching my pet grooming group how to sculpt pumpkins. Seriously, true story. Went to the pet grooming facility where my dog was groomed and taught them how to sculpt pumpkins. And they paid a couple of bucks, and we all sat together and I taught them how to sculpt pumpkins. They had a great time. I did it for 2 years, and now I haven't done it in a while. And then of course the pandemic changed things. But at that time, my agent called me and said, "Terry," she's Southern. She said, "Terry, Guillermo called you." And I said, "Guillermo called me." Now here was my challenge, right? My challenge was that I had to say Guillermo who, not because I didn't know about Guillermo del Toro, but because I did a little commercial called the Foster Farms Chickens. Here I am with Drew and the chickens as we're setting them up in San Francisco's Martha's Vineyard for a commercial. These are our birds. I play the dumb one, which is looking at the smart one, if there's any such thing as a smart bird. And here we are in one of our multitude of commercials. We shot over 40, and we hope that they will be bringing them back soon. My point is that Guillermo Navarro, who is one of Guillermo del Toro's chief cinematographers, did the cinematography or the camera work for Foster Farms. So I was thinking the person who called me was Guillermo Navarro. She said, "I don't know which Guillermo. He's Mexican." That helped. So she gave me the phone number. They're both Mexican. In fact, my agent is Southern Mexican. So, so I'm giggling because I'm like, that, thank you. That big help. Thank you. I'll call the number. So I had to take a minute. I had to take a breath, because if it's Guillermo Navarro, no problem. But if it's Guillermo del Toro, my heart could stop. And sure enough, I rang the phone, and it was Guillermo del Toro. And he said, "Terry, I am your biggest fan." And I said, "Guillermo, could you send me that in an email?" And he actually did. It was just touching. But he wanted to buy one of my sculptures. I was hoping that he wanted me as an actress, but no, not yet. He wanted my sculptures, and I did a pirate bed for him. And let me see if I can find that. I think I put it under G, pirate bed, or maybe just pirate bed. So let me see if I can find it here in my stuff. I thought it was in here. There it is. It's under pirate bed. Okay, so let me give you a good picture of it so you guys can see what I guess this is a good one. Here it is. So here is the piece we did for Guillermo del Toro, me and my team. I did the sculpting on it. It is like 1 inch to the foot or something like that. And he wanted it to be decrepit. So if I come back in here and show you, everything is hand done. We rode Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland 18 times to provide this for him. The pillows are actually fabric. The chest actually opens up. The bird, the dead parrot, there's jewels, there's pearls and rhinestones. It's a magnificent piece that I have done for him. And if it looks familiar to you, there, doesn't that skeleton look nice and creepy? If it looks familiar to you, there's a reason for that. It was at Guillermo's show at the LACMA here in Hollywood. I was actually out of town when he called me and said, "Terry, you made the cut." And I was like, "What cut?" And he said, "You made the cut." And he sent me a picture of the show he was going to be doing in LACMA. And there was my piece on the shelf with a huge card talking about me being the sculptor. And it's one of a kind. And oh my gosh, my heart just raced. And I think one of the things, and if I can find it, I'll show it to you, is that I have a program for his show and my name is right under Ray Harryhausen. And if you guys don't know already, I'm a huge stop motion fan. So Harryhausen being Harryhausen and then Terri Hardin was just like, okay, I'm really happy now. To have my name right next to Ray Harryhausen was a big deal in that program. But I was a special guest because I was one of the artists there, and LACMA just really fussed over me and my husband. Is so sweet, and it's because I made the cut with Guillermo del Toro. So we became fast friends. We shared many things together. Thanksgiving, I mean, just imagine. But here we are together as I present him with the piece. Here we're at his house, and then after that we had Thanksgiving. So I was really, really happy to have to be with him. And here we are as he signs the book. If you want to see that book, remind me and I'll bring it and show you the book. I did a hardcover book for him and a soft cover book for myself. And when you do a one-of-a-kind piece, a lot of the times I try to include a book as well. And there it is. There it is. And you see the little Batman card next to it. He loves to collect. So it was really a lovely, joyful thing. So my friend Evan Hunter through Terry's Tribe mentioned to me that there was going to be a Q&A at the Linwood. And I just wrote to Guillermo and asked if I could have a couple of tickets. And he scored me a couple of tickets. And so Wednesday night I went. And he didn't have time to speak with me after, but I was in the front row. So when he walked in, he blew kisses to me. And then I felt like most of the time he was talking directly to me. But let's talk about this film. Will you do us, Guillermo, and me a favor and go see it in theaters? It is just too much to view on your television screen. Now, if you're one of those who happens to be fortunate enough to have a screen the size of a theater and a theater room, well, maybe you don't need to see it in the theater. But those of you who have a screen like me that's like 50 across or whatever it is, please go see it in the theater. There's too much to see, too much beauty. And in this new 3D format that I'm never a fan of, I became a fan of it in this. I think you're going to go gaga over the detail. And if you're a stop motion nut like me, it is the ultimate stop motion film for someone like me. It's about the story. It's got depth. It's got grit. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film. And you will find yourself, as I did, looking at the screen and darting around just wanting to see so much. So we're going to the theater again this week. Hopefully this weekend I can talk my husband into going to the theater because I really want to go see it again. And Guillermo asked me if I would, and all of us at the Linwood, to share it. And that's why I'm sharing it with you today. If you have questions about it, let me know. But it's playing in theaters for only another week. And if you guys have never understood the process of the Academy Awards, okay, if you want your movie to be nominated for Academy Award, it's not enough for it to be a good film. You have to work what we call the circuit. You have to make sure that you do a lot of personal appearances. Hence why I am seeing Wakanda Forever tomorrow at a special screening. They make sure that they get in front of people like SAG, which I am a member of, the Screen Actors Guild. And what do? I vote. Why? Because we have a Screen Actors Guild Award. So a lot of times we are offered this. Now, my husband is a member of the Academy. He's an art director. It's kind of a secondary below the line academy, the ones that, not that it's bad or anything, or not that it's not, wowzer. It is wowzer. It's absolutely wowzer. But what I'm saying is there are certain, you've noticed that they give people a dinner and it's not televised. And then they do with the big stars, with the movie people, with the actors mostly, they do that on camera called the Academy Awards. And I've watched it ever since I was 3. But you have to work the circuit. You have to talk to people. You have to talk about the movie. You have to show the movie, and you have to be available to say what it felt like for you, what it means to you, what it took to do it, why you did it, the heart of it. For example, Guillermo said it took 10 years for this movie to see the big screen, because a lot of the times when he wanted someone to produce it and to distribute it, they slammed the door in his face. No. But he just kept going. And this is one of the things that I often talk about here and also on my Patreon page: never give up. And Guillermo never gives up. So on behalf of Guillermo del Toro and myself, Terri Hardin, I would like very, very much if you would make your solemn pledge and go see this movie in the theater to help him so that he can possibly score that Academy Award nomination. Because when you say it's good enough to be nominated, what we're really saying is, well, sure, you want the statuette, right? Of course you do. But it's so challenging to get to that first step, the nomination. Hundreds of thousands of films distributed. And when I am a SAG nomination committee member, I can remember in one time I looked at over 700 films. I wanted to watch each and every film as a nomination committee, because Screen Actors Guild has a nomination committee. They all go see the movies, and then they nominate what movies should go on to be SAG award nominees. And so this gave me a taste, because a lot of the times when I was a SAG nomination committee member, I sat with Academy members, and you see, if you're an Academy member, you are subjected to this every year. Every year you get to vote on things. You vote in your category: art director, costuming, sound, animation. You vote there, right, in those little categories. But you also then can vote unanimously for the movie and the director and etc., right? A lot of films. And if you can imagine being an Academy member, and then every year you got 800 films to look at, and you're a busy person, how do you do it? Many said they waited for the cream to rise to the top, and then they saw it. Unfortunately, films that are very good, that don't have that chutzpah to get that cream to the top, are disappeared. They disappeared. And it's a very sad thing. So if you want your movie, especially if it's an independent, for example, one that comes to mind is Big Fat Greek Wedding. They really work the circuit. Hanks, her, everybody worked that circuit to get that movie known and noticed. And that's what you got to do, called marketing. Do we love it as artists? No. But do we have to do it as artists? Yes. So that's why he's doing the circuit right now. He was here doing his Q&A, Guillermo was, and on a plane Thursday to New York to talk to the East Coast. So he is jetting everywhere to let people know the passion he has for this movie. He says it's one of the best in his body of work. And he named Pan's Labyrinth one of my favorite Also, Shape of Water, another favorite of mine. And finally, this film. So I, of course, have a special place in my heart for this film because it's stop motion animation, and I go gaga for this genre. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And for anyone who believes, like Bob Chapek actually stated, that animation is for kids, you don't know animation well enough. You need to watch more. You need to watch more. I mean, if you are out there thinking you're too cool for school and you don't watch animation, you really are cutting your nose off to spite your face. There is some amazing animation, and a lot of it can be very creepy, very gritty, very scary. Akira comes to mind. And very graphic. So you need to delve, you need to dig deep into animation because animation is a great way. It is a storytelling genre that I think in many people underestimate it or insult it by calling it a cartoon. There are cartoons and then there are animations. So I urge you to look into these animated films. Look at some that aren't Disney because Disney has a habit of making them all happy. And that's not truthful, is it? And one of the things that Guillermo said that I fully agree with is filmmaking should be about truth, should let you have a little snippet of life through your eyes as the creator and give it truth. But I'm not going to say too much about this. I don't want to spoil the film for you. Please go and see it in the theater. You will be doing yourself a huge favor, especially if you love stop motion. So those of you who are Nightmare Before Christmas nuts, this is a movie you need to go see. Now, is it going to be for kids? No. It's got some grit. It's a grit film. Yeah, it's Guillermo del Toro. That should tell you that the film is going to have teeth. Okay? That's what I love about Guillermo del Toro. Besides, now that I can call him my friend, I would be promoting this movie even if he wasn't my friend because this is an amazing movie. And then at the end, guys, look at how many names follow in the credits. Look at all of those names because you say it takes a village. It took a lot more than a village to get this movie made. And it's absolutely take time to read the credits. And you'll see set builders, lighting, puppet builders, mechanics. You'll just go crazy. I mean, if you've never really dug your teeth into a stop motion, now is the time with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So please do that for the both of us. We both will thank you a lot. See, we're looking at you going, thank you for doing this for my friend Guillermo del Toro. I really, really, really appreciate that. And finally, Candlelight. Candlelight is here. It is Saturday and Sunday of this week. So this weekend, tomorrow and the next day. And it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed. I am told that people who have reservations are going in the morning, staking their claims. Nothing unusual about this, but really staking their claims and staying because there is no other opportunity. They could be so far back from where Candlelight happens, which is the steps of the railroad, that they won't be able to see it. You can hear it. Excuse me. You can hear it from all over. But a lot of people like to see it. And then, of course, I don't know if you know who's doing the actual hosting of it, the talker. Let me know that. No one knew it at the party. I was there last night, and most of them don't care. I mean, to be honest with you, they don't care who's speaking. They get excited when it's someone that they want to meet as an actor, but most of the time they don't care. They just want to be there for the candlelight experience. And so this is no different. It's going to be packed. It's going to be lovely. I will not be there, but I will be living it vicariously through many of you and also my tribe. So Terry's tribe. So patreon.com/Terri Hardin. Yeah, see how I squeeze that in there? Yeah, because I don't want you to forget. I know you'll benefit from it. That's why I keep telling you about it. Yeah, it really is a blessing. It's a blessing for me getting to know you better. And it's a blessing for you because these people are amazing. So if you're amazing, and even if you're not, but want to feel amazing, get in on it. Get in on it. Get in and check it out. Let me just pop it up one more time so you can copy it down because it's very, very important. If you're feeling like you're not special, this is a place where you'll feel special, almost guaranteed. Well, I should say guaranteed, because if I don't do it, they will. But I usually do, as you know. on this whole thing. So go $5 a month, $60 a year. You know, you can save your quarters and have your thing every month, or just skip a Starbucks, right? Yeah. Yeah. And that's because I want you all to be a part of it because it's just so, so cool. All right. So let's talk to you guys. What's on your mind today? A lot of you are chatting. Good morning, Paul. No question today, but I wanted to share that I went out and bought some Little Baby all-in chips based on your. They're pretty good. Did you find they're a craving and you wake up at night going, little baby, little baby? That's almost the thing I took to the party yesterday, but I didn't think it was kind to addict everybody. It really is a little bit addicting. I don't know if you feel that way, Paul, but the little babies are just on my set. People were just you would have thought it was I don't know, you'd think it was gold or something, but boy, they are very popular. Thank you for sharing. And Paul, we're coming to see you on the 9th, right? 9th. So we're coming to see you sing. Yeah, I'm very excited to come see you sing. Good morning, Terry and everyone. Hello from my new to me iPhone 8 with iOS 16 and the Facebook app again. This thing is great. Aren't you happy? Yes, I have my iPhone 13 and I really like it. But what I really like is, like you said, the iOS 16, which is cool because it's got these mega giant numbers. I just love how big these numbers are. I mean, as an older person, but I don't know. I just think it looks cool. It feels kind of spacey. And of course, me being a space squid, you see that I have the edge of the earth. That's me. There's all kinds of cool things you can put on an iPhone, those of you that don't have them. But I just can't I can't stop. I love seeing that pop up. I keep tapping it throughout the whole day. You may do the same, but congratulations, Joe. That's lovely. San Francisco's Martha's Vineyard. Please explain. In San Francisco, there's a Martha's Vineyard that is oh gosh, this is going way back because these commercials. We shot up in San Francisco and Paso Robles area, and there was a place called Martha's Vineyard. One year we were flown up there as the Foster Farms chickens, and it's a really nice, quaint little town that's costs a lot of money to be a part of it. And we shot a Foster Farms commercial there where we had all these big speakers on top of the car, and we were telling people to buy Foster Farms chickens. I wish I had the commercial. But if you're on YouTube, you go to my playlist, click on the Foster Farms playlist, and you'll find it there. I'm pretty sure I linked it there. Watch those commercials. They're phenomenal. Not because I did them, but because they're phenomenal. They're just so, so funny. And hopefully they'll be coming back soon. I pray. We'll see. But to answer your question, it was a beautiful little area. And we shot there this commercial. And then for the rest of the time, the production people of Foster Farms, the advertising agency, and the client both thought it would be better to come down to Southern California, as all the puppeteers that do Foster Farms, the 4 of us, the 2 wingmen and the 2 puppeteers, all live in Southern California. So they thought it would be easier for them to come down than for me to go up. In other cases, Southern California has a lot of things that are very attractive. And so a lot of times that'll happen. I also did a couple noodles commercial with the Kyoto brothers, several of them, where I played a baby caveman. Let me see if I can find the moon unit. I'm looking now. There it is. Okay, so here is the cup of noodles, and it's seafood noodle. Okay, so this is it. I wouldn't recommend eating this. I did this commercial some time ago. But this is a perfect example of doing a commercial, and it was for Japan. It was a family of cavemen, and some of it was stop motion done with the Kyoto brothers. You may have heard them from Killer Clowns of Outer Space and a plethora of things. These guys are super, super amazing. And got to work with them on several projects, and I love them, friends of mine too. But I did the face articulation while someone was inside the suit So it was a lot like the Country Bears, people in suits, and we did the face articulation, and we did these cup of noodle commercials. I don't know if I have them linked on my playlist, but I will. If I don't, I will dig them up and link them, and you should see them. They're absolutely hilarious because the Japanese don't seem to have any catalytic converter on what they tell either, and they become very, very funny. But it was a great set of commercials I did. My point was that we were all hoping they would fly us, a team of about 20 people, to Japan, and instead they sent over their people to us in the United States. So we stayed in the United States. The Japanese crews, or the producers and et cetera, film company and commercial company and client and all that, cup of noodles. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Cup of Noodles were there, and from Japan. And the reason they came here was because not only did they get to see the States, but coffee is a lot less expensive here. So we had flats and flats and flats of coffee that the producers and the clients and things were sending back to Japan. So a lot of times when locations are chosen, it's because the production companies and producers are looking for something that they want to go to the United States, for example. They want to go to America. They've never been to America. Why not shoot the commercial in America? Why am I telling you all of this? To help you with your questions. If you have questions and you don't know what to ask, this will kind of help you ask the questions if you should feel so inclined. Is Guillermo del Toro in the tribe? No, probably because he has too much. He's working really hard. But I will tell you that I'm hoping to see if he might do a impromptu conversation with me for the tribe. So that's kind of the thing that could happen in the future. You never know. He really is a very, very sweet and generous person. And I'm just telling you, Thanksgiving with his family was surreal. It was wonderful, joyful, but Lindsay and I were pinching ourselves. We were like, well, are we really here? Because it was a dream come true. You can't you can't help but let the fan leak out a little bit. And I'm a huge fan of Guillermo's ever since Pan's Labyrinth. And also I did a movie you may have heard called Monkey Bone. Now, whether you like it or not, I did it with a man you love named Doug Jones. And Doug Jones is one of Guillermo's favorite performers when it comes to these unusual characters that Guillermo likes to create. And in this case, Doug played in Pan's Labyrinth. He played El Fuano, and he played many of those other characters that in Pan's Labyrinth are involved with this little girl. So almost all of them were Doug. So Doug and I became fast friends while shooting Monkey Bone. He played the Yeti, and I played Betty Bovine. $3 balls for $1. That's my voice in there. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and go see it, because you're gonna get a laugh. But she's a crazy. It's in Comatown. And the movie is not so wonderful, but the Comatown is very cool. And again, this is because in post, they got worried about Comatown. They lost their nerve and through fear edited the film. And as a result, when you edit, you do things based in fear, guys, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You got to just trust your instincts. And there are so many levels where instincts were not trusted. And it's a shame. It's a heartbreaker. So now instincts are, so trust your instincts. Don't do it through fear. If you've got that in your heart, like Guillermo did, 10 years to make this movie. So let's show him our support. If you love Guillermo del Toro's work, if you love Guillermo del Toro, or if you love me, please do it. Go to the theater. You will not regret it. And if you love stop motion, get. I'm going to do it too. My husband hasn't seen it, so I want to take him to the theater to see it. And I'm hoping to do that this weekend because it's just phenomenal. So much to look at. So when it's on a little screen, it just never would have happened. So So it will be on Netflix in I think it's like middle of December, something like that. Don't know the date, but he told me it's only going to be in theaters for another week. So he's doing the circuit. He's flying all over the United States trying to promote this film and let people know, making them aware of it, why it's special, why it should be nominated. This is really what people have to do when they are marketing a movie if they want it to get recognized by the Academy Awards, Screen Actors Guild, etc., etc. So another one that I really want to see, because I've done a couple of films with, is Whale. I'm really looking to see Whale because I think that this could be an Academy Award-winning film for someone that I'm very fond of, Brendan Fraser. I did a couple of movies with him, and I really thought that when I saw his body of work early, that he was kind of getting the raw end of the stick. He's a very, very good actor, but he was hitting a wall. They kept thinking of him as Dudley Do-Right of George of the Jungle, these kind of smarmy, silly films, even though he did Gods and Monsters, which is one of the movies that just blew me away that he acted in. So I'm so excited to hear that he's got this movie out called Whale, and I'm hoping that I get a Q&A with him and some of the people who made Whale, because this is one that they say is a favorite for the Academy Awards. And don't think it's not because they put magazine ads in. It's marketing, guys. Always, always, always market. As artists, we don't like it, but artists, we must do it. Okay, it's something we must do. And there's a way to do it with love and passion, not just, buy my thing, $39.95. I don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You just need to share something that you think is a benefit to people. And that's why I'm always talking to you about my Patreon page. Honestly, $5 a month is something to just, I wanted to think of a minimum amount that you could put skin in the game and would be accessible to everybody. And this is why, this is what the page has become. It was not initially the creation of the page. And if you ever want to know how the page was created, not that it's an interesting story, but it's a crazy one, because I was drafted into it. A friend of mine recommended me, and Patreon has this wonderful promotion that they do. If you get your page, built in 30 days and then you promote it for 30 days, they have an incentive program, which is just beautiful. It helps that who recommended you and you. And so it's very touching. And I wanted to thank my friend in Europe. She was in Europe. Her name is Michelle, and she recommended me. And it was absolutely at the worst time. You have one of those friends that you kind of want to hug and strangle at the same time. That's my dear friend, Michelle. She went on a cruise. She went on a Disney cruise. She was going to walk me through the whole thing, and then she had no internet. So there I was dangling like the coyote when I first built my page. But now my page has grown. I've been there for a few years, and my page has grown, and it's grown with some great people. And I wouldn't give it up for the world, because I love each and every one of them. They're my family, and you can be a part of it too. I'm inviting you to do so. Not pressuring you, but inviting you from my heart, from my truthful heart, that if it sounds like something for you, dip a toe in the water for a month. And if you don't like it, I'm not going to be angry with you if you leave, but at least you tried it. It's kind of like going and seeing a movie and then deciding if you liked it or not, as opposed to liking it or not liking it based on someone else's talk. Right. So, that's the way I feel about it. And I want to thank you for just listening and giving me your attention. Good morning. There she is. Sydney. How are you, girl? Good to see you. And Adam, boy, I got a double hug there. Good to see you guys. Two of my tribe people right there. Lovely, lovely cast members, by the way. A lot of fun. We play a cool game called Find Adam in the Park. And it's a great game. And pictures are posted on our private Facebook page when people have found Adam. So we may have to do that with Sydney too. We have to make sure she wants us to try and find her. Adam has these cute little dimples, and they just, he just smiles so big when the tribe comes and finds him and has to take pictures with him. And he's featured because like I said, it's a game in the tribe that we play. If anybody goes to the park, we're always on the hunt for Adam. So it's really, really fun. Super fun. Hello, Crumpet Puppet Team. How are y'all? I know you'll go do this for me. You guys are kindred spirits when it comes to puppets. So I know you'll go see Pinocchio for me at the theater. I know you're going to do it. I don't even have to ask you because you know you want to do yourself a favor. And then you'll be like me. You'll be analyzing the puppets, which Guillermo said he would have a coffee with me. And I'm hoping that I can sit and chat with him about the puppets specifically because they are amazing. But anyway. Just so they're really good, really, really good, and so much fun. But like I said, you got to see it on the green. You got to see it on the big screen, especially if you're a puppeteer or you love puppets. You just don't want to do you the disservice of a little screen. So please go do it and support Guillermo del Toro and touch my heart as well. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Good morning. I am going to Candlelight, says Leslie E. Smith. Are you in it? Now, Leslie is one of these people who usually goes to Candlelight because she sings in Candlelight. And a lot of the times I wanted to go to see Leslie singing in Candlelight. So, oh yes, being short, I'll be trying to see above and between tall people. Watch this amazing performance on Sunday, but on Saturday, I'll have the best view of all. I'll be high on the 4th row up to the tree for both Saturday shows. So she's in it. All right. So this is why I used to go, was people like Leslie E. Smith who are actually in the chorus and in Candlelight. It makes it extra special when you try to spot your friends in the tree. So now she's giving you the coordinates. They're not, longitude and latitude. Find Leslie, longitude, latitude. But they're close enough. Okay. So 4th row up on the tree. And both Saturday shows. Okay. So now you know where to find her. For the second show, I'll be singing 4th row dead center. Now that's pretty easy. I'm sure you can't tell that I'm so excited for this. Always am every year. She has a beautiful singing voice. Last night was our dress rehearsal at Disneyland until 3 a.m. Yes, I'm tired, but she's excited. So go out and see Miss Leslie. She's an amazing young lady. A beautiful singing voice, and she does a lot of sheet music. That's what she does for Disney. She actually takes when you see composers composing and they use a pencil or a pen, Leslie transfer, what's it called? Scribes. Is that the right word, Leslie? Music. Anyway, it's a brilliant high-end brain thing. I told her. I think it's not only a passionate thing that she does, but something that my eyes cross when I watch her do it. And she's an amazing young lady. So go see her sing. If you're there at Candlelight, look for her. She just gave you the coordinates. And I will be there in spirit, sweetheart. I would love to see you. I'm there in spirits. Crumpet Puppet Troupe. I just watched the new Pinocchio a while back. I had mixed feelings about it, honestly. Well, that's absolutely your prerogative, right? I like things with teeth. That's why Guillermo is one of my favorite directors, because the man doesn't hold back. And there are some things that I don't like and some things that I do, but I will tell you that the movies that he named when I watched and when I heard from him were the movies that I love. They're like on my top. I have them all. And then I love to know the behind the scenes of all of them and just yeah. Not a Hellboy fan, not at all. But I like Doug as the fish guy. So there's things to like and whatever, but don't, mixed feelings are okay. Thank you for not saying what they are, since so many haven't seen it, but thank you for going to see it in the theater. I'm going to thank you and love you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's the movie called again? Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That's how you can tell. Okay. And it's not your Disney Pinocchio. It is a great Pinocchio. We will talk more specifically about the choices Guillermo made once a lot of you have seen it. Okay. So once it's on Netflix, maybe we'll talk about it and a Q&A. Okay. But I don't want to spoil it to you. The Crumpet Puppet team will agree with me. Troop will agree with me that it needs to be yours to unfold, a package you need to open, and not have it spoiled by someone opening it for you and telling you all about it. Again, their POV, not your POV point of view. And I want you to have that opportunity. I told my husband I will discuss some specific things that Guillermo said about the film that were absolutely profound, but not now. I don't want to spoil it for any of you. Go see it in the theater if you haven't already, like the Crumpet Puppet Troupe. And if you have mixed feelings, we'll talk about it. Just not now because I don't want it spoiled for you. I'm very adamant about that. Anyone starts to tell you about the movie, tell them la 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 la. Not yet. I haven't seen it. All right. Try not to look at too much of it because I don't want you to have any preconceived ideas. I want you to just open the package for yourself. This is the joy of a good movie. This is the joy of any movie, actually. You may open it up and at the end you go, man, that was a dog, kind of insulting for the dog, actually, but that wasn't a good movie. And then sometimes you'll open it up and go, wow, my heart. Kind of your first day when you saw Nightmare Before Christmas. Many of you who are huge Nightmare Before Christmas fans, as I am as well, you remember when you opened that package and how joyful you felt after the movie was over and it stopped flipping motion. See, for me, a stop motion film makes me nuts. Absolutely makes me crazy. I love it so, so much. So again, being able to have my name under Ray Harryhausen, which I watched as a little kid diligently, and then I got to actually meet Ray. He signed both of my books. I have a hardcover and a softcover of Book of His Life. And I met with him, spoke with him, and actually he signed for me. So this is just to have my name under his, which was, Guillermo didn't do anything to put my name next to it. It's just the way the names fell. But that was just an added, bonus when I was at the show. And I said, here I am in a museum of art and I'm not dead. So I was really just tickled to be in that show of Guillermo's. And if you got to see that show, it was absolutely teeth falling out. Amazing. So, yeah. Oh, wait, I thought you meant the Disney Plus Pinocchio. My bad. Oh, yeah. No, Guillermo's. You guys got to go see Guillermo del Toro's one. It's amazing. And if you like stop motion, it's really amazing. And it'll take the taste out of the live action Pinocchio from Disney Plus out of your mouth. Because no. Couldn't deal with that. Could not. I watched it 3 times and fell asleep. I tried different times of the day, first thing in the morning, middle of the day, and always fell asleep. I don't even know what the deal is with that. But I think one of the things is, as much as I love Tom Hanks, the man cannot do accents. And I think if you can't do accents, don't do accents. Don't we love Tom Hanks with his own voice? So if you're going to cast him, understand that the man doesn't do accents. So just let Tom Hanks be Tom Hanks. I think he would have been fine as Geppetto if he hadn't done the accent, which comes and goes like the tide. And it's rough. It's the same with the Elvis film. He's the focal point, the character that he plays in this Elvis film, where if you haven't seen it, it's quite interesting, especially if you're an Elvis fan, because the kid just gives it everything he's got. You can see that this young man playing Elvis cared about Elvis so much that he puts his soul, his heart on a platter for you to see. You can really see his devotion to the character, how hard he worked and how much it means to him. But unfortunately, the story is about the promoter, and the promoter is Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks can't do an accent. And it's very, very distracting. And it's a shame it's so distracting because the boy is incredible. So if you get a chance and you get to see it, forgive me, still have the ding for my family and my parents, and it's not my parents, so I'm just shutting it up. So anyway, if you get a chance to see it, sit through it, that's when I would stream, because it's hard to sit through big screen. I was grateful I didn't see that in a big screen, but Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I don't think will disappoint you guys. You just won't. Please go see it in the theater, and please see it in the next few days, because it will pull itself out and be available for streaming on Netflix. And for the Academy Awards, it has to show so long in a theater to be eligible to be nominated. You may not know this either. So a lot of times a movie that's independent or something will open a movie for the amount of days that is needed to qualify it for the Academy Awards nomination, and then it will go to something. And this is the case, I believe. Well, Netflix was the people who distribute the movie. It's for Netflix, this Pinocchio, okay? Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So, of course, Netflix, being a streaming service, is wanting to stream it on, you got it, Netflix. But they also like being considered for Academy Awards. And so they opened it in the theater so that you can see it. Please see it because there's so much to see that it will be hard to take in if you have a little screen. Okay. So thank you for doing Guillermo del Toro and I a favor. I promised Guillermo I was going to tell you all about it and encourage you to go see it. And now I've done what I promised my friend because I told him the truth. I have been waiting to see that. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been excited to see it ever since they released the teaser trailer last year. Yeah, you guys are going to love it. And seriously, because you're puppeteers, you guys need to see it on the big screen. And maybe you go together. Your whole troupe goes together. Okay? Because I think you'll just be blah, 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 afterwards. I was. Guillermo blew me kisses when I was sitting in the audience, and it was so nice. People, afterwards said, "Did you know him?" Because he's blowing me kisses like I'm his wife or something, which I'm not his wife. But he would have been blowing them to me and my husband if my husband could have gone, because he knows us both. But just a sweetheart, and he asked everyone at the Linwood Dunn Theater to promote it and to let people know how important it was for you to go to see it in the theater. So that's what I'm asking you, and I will be. Full disclosure to all of you that are listening and watching right now, I don't usually go to a lot of movies in the theater anymore because of the pandemic. Makes me a little nervous because I have a high risk people in my family, and it is still out there. So I'm very cautious about what movies I see in the theater. So I was grateful for the Linwood Dunn and a chance to see it on the big screen. And now I'm going to take my husband to see it on the big screen because I promised. And, I'm only human. I can't keep all my promises, but this one's really important to me because I just went gaga over this film, guys. Seriously, I think you make an evening of it and you all go because you're puppeteers. I think for puppeteers, it's going to have more significance, but it's going to have significance for everybody. I am so excited about it. And if you love stop motion and you loved Nightmare Before Christmas and how you felt when you first saw it, you're going to have that feeling again. I really, really believe it. Hello, Tim Gillette. How was your Thanksgiving? And I am excited to chat with you. I'm hoping maybe to have a quick phone call, but we'll see, Tim. Man, this is the Celebrate and Fix month, and my mind is just like going, just racing. So I hope we can talk later. Adam says, I remember Big Fat Greek Wedding was on TV all the time. It was such a beautiful, if you haven't, this movie, if you haven't heard the history of this movie and how it got made and how it became so popular, how it became so big, how it became so special, you got to read about it. Okay. So look at the behind the scenes. It's a really lovely, lovely story. Started out as a one-woman show, and just the story is about never giving up. Okay, are you seeing a theme here with me? The tribe sees it too. I'm often showing you examples of never giving up, because when you never give up, success happens. 10 years to make this film, the Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Big Fat Greek Wedding was made because she was told that she was an actress, our leading lady. She was an actress, and everyone wanted her to play Hispanic, and she's Greek. So how many of us have been in this situation? Not necessarily maybe auditioning, but in our lives, where people want us to fit into one box because it suits them, but we don't fit in that box. It's not that we're being obstinate. It's just, I'm not Spanish or Mexican. I'm Greek. And hello, there's a difference. Okay, so she began to get frustrated because they wouldn't cast her. They at the time, they said whatever they said. Okay, not important. But the bottom line was she never gave up, and she created a one-woman show. She started in tiny little theaters. They call them 99 seats and under. And she performed her one-woman show. She talks about, I believe, her husband at the time or boyfriend, I'm not sure, but was at the ticket counter taking the tickets for her show, and then he would run up and do the lights and stuff. I mean, how dedicated, right? And then it only takes one person. You don't have to have millions of people see it. You just need one. And that one walked in the door, fell in love with it, went and met her, and it was Tom Hanks' wife. And the rest is history. Was not a quick history, but don't listen to me tell it. Go read it. If you loved Big Fat Greek Wedding, an independent film, by the way, you're going to love its journey, and its journey will help you not give up. Okay? This is why I love film. Film inspires you with stories to realize you're not alone in your struggle. And when you see light at the end of the tunnel, the reward is very great. Why? Because you didn't give up. So that's why I used Big Fat Greek Wedding as an example, because that is a lovely story. And I started to read about it in the paper. Yeah, that's something that you open like this and the kids threw from bicycles in my day. I don't know how it's done now. But the point is that ink got on your fingers and stuff. It, silly putty on the comics, what's silly putty? I'll Google it. But the point is, yeah, I read about it. I got excited about it. I started to want to learn more. And then I went to the theater and just watched it over and over to support it, because I wanted to give her and all of the people that had made Big Fat Greek Wedding my support. So you guys, if you haven't done it, do it. This is what makes film lovely. People wonder, as Adam points out, he saw it on TV all the time because a lot of people love it. It's a brilliant little film. I still use Windex today because of the film. But the point is that you just don't give up. If it's something that you love passionately, and me, it's film. I've loved film since I was, as they say, knee high to a grasshopper, but basically ever since I was 2 or 3 years old, maybe even earlier, I loved film and television, and that's my jam. So I don't know music very well. And those of you who listen to music while you work, who know all of the bands and know all of the updated music and the 80s music and the 70s music, no. I know the song if I hear it and may know the name of the artist, but it's got to be someone along the lines of Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Michael Jackson. If you name someone else, I don't necessarily know them by name. And I do not listen to music in my studio right now. You can hear it's very quiet in here. This is because if I have music or anything, I start to dance to it. And because I'm doing tiny little figures, sculpting most of the time, or I'm painting, I have to sit still and let the energy go from my arms into the piece I'm creating. So I always put a film on that I know. One of my favorites is The Godfather 1 and 2, and I know them backwards, forwards, upside down. Ask my husband, who goes, Godfather again? The Doc Martin series, the Downton Abbey series. And what happens is, as I sculpt, I remember what I was sculpting when I look at the piece. So that's what's kind of interesting. So, for example, the Cheshire Cat, my little Cheshire Cat that I have for sale now, I was watching Downton Abbey episodes. In fact, it was season 4 while I was sculpting the Cheshire Cat. So you see, I remember that. But I watch movies over and over and over again, and I see something new every time. So I can't wait to get Pinocchio. I went and looked on Amazon to see if it was being available, that I could pre-order, and it's not there yet. And maybe they have a website, and if they do, I want to just get in on as soon as that DVD is released, I want it in my hot little hands. I don't want to wait, because I just love it. So that's me. So if music is your jam and you know how passionate you are about it, I was with some people in Virginia, and his favorite his favorite singer was Mariah Carey for Christmas. And is it Mariah Carey? See, this is where I'm asking, I'm not telling. Is it her that has one of the hot Christmas songs of the year? Never heard it. I've never heard it. Because me, it's Nat King Cole and the Simone choir. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I am not listening to contemporary singers. I'm listening to Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. because I love that. And Little Burl Ives in there. But remember, guys, I'm 65. This is what I like. So when I hear a contemporary, and I was here at a party and they played some of the more contemporary Christmas songs, they were nice, but I don't see myself playing them. Just isn't Christmas for me. And you remember Christmas. What is Christmas, for you? Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives is definitely Christmas for me. Yeah, Little Drummer Boy by the San Simeon Choir. And which I love, brings me to tears every time. And then chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. See, I have a really deep voice. Anyway, Nat King Cole has me at hello. It's a has me at hello moment with me. So this is what gets me in the Christmas spirit. But my point is, if you're telling me a contemporary artist singing Christmas songs, you got to educate me further. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just have no idea what you're talking about. It took me a while to learn about Justin Bieber, because I was like, and people, and I'm like, but why? Why? And it wasn't being why, like mean why. It was, please tell me why he's popular, because I'm not seeing it. And if you're a fan, I'd love to hear that from you, why you love the characters you love so much. And this is what's fun, is to hear it from you. So I don't apologize for it. I just love it. That's kind of the way it is. But yes, Big Fat Greek Wedding, learn their history. You're going to love the movie even more. Animation is definitely for adults. It's definitely for everybody. Okay? It's for everybody. And watch this movie if you think it's going to scare your kids. But I warn you, kids are something. Some of those video games a lot of kids play scare the absolute you-know-what out of me. So, but you as parents, yeah, if you think it might be something your kids can't handle, be sure to watch it yourselves first. But I think it's great. And I think as a little kid, I would have loved seeing it. And I love seeing it as an adult, of course. I'm excited because this is an amazing collab between both Del Toro and Jim Henson Studios. Well, that's an interesting thing. Jim Henson, I don't think, did as much as inferred. And that's one of the questions that I have for Guillermo is where, how, and what. Because if you read the credits, this big Henson contribution is like, So I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it. And it's kind of exciting. But I am very curious to know what they did. And what an honor for them to work with him is what I'm thinking. That's just me, of course, Adam. Animations for kids. My daughter and I must be really big kids then. Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. That's exactly true. Guillermo talked about how animation has the ability to take your breath away. And I think films do too. But he was talking about Miyazaki's Totoro, which I actually had the pleasure of building with my best friend, the character of Totoro for the New York opening of Totoro, introducing Miyazaki to the United States. And he talked about the blue skies and the birds and the characters and how he just got very emotional and he felt tears come down his face because it was so beautiful beyond what he had ever seen. And he said, this is the impact people should strive for when they're making a film, is jarring that which is us, the human being, and making us feel stuff, which is what I've always said. Don't stop before you feel, okay? Don't stop us feeling our emotions. So one of the things that just drives me crazy is the movie Coco. And I think I've mentioned this before. Many of you love Coco. And for the most part, I do too. But one of the things I absolutely do not like at all about Coco is the fact that when the little bony dude passes away, we start to feel sad. We start to feel the tears coming because he has no family to remember him. This is a very important movie in Coco, and Disney does a smarmy joke or silly statement or they pull up before we're allowed to completely get invested in that emotion because they don't want us to be sad. Many of you who are Disney fans say Disney doesn't seem to want to let people be sad, but the reality is it's not the truth, is it? We are sad and we are happy, and without sadness there's not happiness, and without happiness there's not sadness. They complement each other and they help you to appreciate the other. You know, the sadness of that little bone dude. I was really upset in Coco when I didn't get to feel. I felt it coming, and this is, I don't love this stuff, but I love when a movie that's animated makes me feel. I'm not wanting to watch things sugary running across the stage that have no meaning, okay? Syrupy behavior. I want to feel what the characters are trying, the emotions that the actors that happen to be animated are trying to help me get together with. So I've really been upset with some of the behaviors of Disney because they don't seem to want people to feel sad. And this is too bad because, as we know, Walt was pretty gritty with Bambi, with Old Yeller, with movies that just, you know, would rip your heart out, and then the happiness after would occur. But wow, right? So is it any wonder Bambi is one of my favorite movies of all time? Because, you know, after the death of Bambi's mom, you are devastated. You are devastated. Who doesn't get tears in their eyes when he's going, "Mother, mother"? You know, and we know what's happened, but he doesn't. And then later he is with his dad and learns to become the prince of the forest, which was his destiny. So these moments are very important, and they happen in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. They actually do happen. And it's an amazing film. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to spoil it for you. But if you look at what Walt did these moments for us and helped us to appreciate these films when he was making these movies. I mean, in Dumbo, I was telling people before, I don't know if I was telling you in the public channel or if I was mentioning it to the tribe. Sometimes it's like watercolors, it kind of blends. But as an actress, when I want to cry on cue, I sing Baby of Mine from Dumbo because I can envision the sadness of the mother chained in that horrible jail cell that's a rolling jail for her wrongfully because she was trying to protect her child. And there she is as the child's trunks entwine, and she's rocking her little baby, and it's Baby of Mine, and I'm already feeling it. See? So you don't want to get cheated from those feelings because this is life, guys. This is life. And I'm blessed with being able to let my emotions come out because every single emotion is a part of life. You know, you're going to have sadnesses in your life, and you're going to have joy in your life, and you have the right to feel sad and joyful. And why are people being led to believe, young children are led to believe that there is no sadness in animation? And there is. I mean, the real deal, not smarmy. All right, you know what I mean. I'm not going to point out smarmy. You'll know it when you see it because you won't be feeling it. I know I'm supposed to be feeling here, but they're not letting the characters, animated characters, truly feel and act. That takes work. Okay? We love Nightmare Before Christmas because the characters really act. We feel the anxiety of the mayor when he can't find Jack Skellington. The sadness of Jack because he's bored. He's tired of being the Pumpkin King. And the joy when he discovers Christmas Town. And we love it. We love it. We love the fact that they all get Christmas wrong. They think they're doing great. They think they're doing right, but they all get it wrong and terrorize the town. He's shocked that they're shooting at him. You know, all of that we're feeling. And that's what is truly good cinema. Not what you see, but what you feel. And that's really what's important in art. So Guillermo and I are kind of kindred spirits in that. He talked about that, and it just touched my heart. So yeah. Slight correction, animation is for everyone, no matter what age. Yeah, Adam, you're right. And there are some things, okay? So I mentioned that that if you really dig deep into animation from all over the world, you are going to see some very, very graphic animation. My husband loves Akira. And Akira is There are parts of Akira I absolutely adore, but the overall movie is too much for me. Just way too much. But I appreciate it because the animation is a lot of work. It's a lot of people working hard on something they believe in. My husband just loves this movie. But for me, I have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it because it's just too much for me to watch. It's just a movie that's just a bit more than I can handle. But because that's a lot of stuff coming at you, you know. But that's what I'm saying. If you're someone who doesn't who just thinks animation is for children, you have not researched animation. All kinds of animation at all kinds of levels, and step out of Disney. Check out Miyazaki, which I'm sure many of you have, but then check out some of the other creators in animation. I'm sure you have, but that's what I'm talking about. All kinds of themes for all kinds of people. For the CEO of Disney to say that animation is for kids clearly shows that Bob Chapek never should have been given the position. Walt would have slapped him. I don't think Walt would have hired him. I really don't. I think he would have had an interview with him and heard what he had to say. And I think Walt would have said, you don't qualify. You know, I'm sorry, but you're not Imagineering material. You're not Disney material. I really think that's what would have happened. And now it's weird how some people are brought in and hired, you know, but, thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. Thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. The park will be saved and we can move on. And the thing that is the most important is that we talked about it at the party yesterday as we saw a retired Disney cast member celebrated at this party I was at. Someone who had been there for quite some time and is retiring or is retired. And we celebrated his retirement at this party. And we spoke about the fact that Walt never thought he could do it all. Okay, Walt never sat up on top in a big castle and said, "I'm going to take care of everything." He delegated. That was his number one thing, is he knew who to delegate to, and he knew how to delegate well. And he had an advisory committee made up of who? You. Made up of you. Walt Disney, creator of Disneyland, creator of all things Disney, Walt Disney, founder. You may have heard of him. He had an advisory committee made up of you guys. And I have said it before, and I will say it again. This is what needs to happen, Bob Iger. Get this committee back established. It will save you a lot of heartache and headache, okay? If this Strange World is truly a flop, is truly a flop movie, you could have saved yourself all of this trouble by asking this group. Not the group that's just watching me, the Disney group, those that go through the gates, who love the brand like myself. Put these people on your advisory committee. They did it for a cool little medal or a pin or a certificate. They don't care. They just want, am I right? You just want to be able to help them make the brand better. People tell me I'm an amazing sculptor. People tell me my work and my art is phenomenal. And I say, thank you. I really do thank you. But I ask you what you want. Okay? I don't just say, I think I'll do. Do you know what I mean? I need to know that you guys want it. And we discuss it mostly in my tribe, I will be honest. But we discuss what would be good to release next. What should we do next? What do you want to see next? Because having you help me is so easy. And I think so many people who do work for Disney should ask you. I'm not just saying that because you're listening. I'm saying it because it's the friggin' truth. Ask you. It's so simple. You know, you're the ones who told me you wanted Hitchhike and Go separate, not all together. You're the ones who wanted to put them in your collection so they could be the impish characters that you have loved, come to love and know. I didn't come up with that idea. You did. And I don't mind giving you credit because it was a brilliant idea. Was it difficult? Was it hard? Yes, 2 years in R&D trying to make this work. And this is why they don't do it most of the time, because it's too flippin' hard to get the electronics in individual ghosts. But I did it. And many of you own that collection. Many of you have those lovely little ghosts. Many of you love them. Many of you told me that you're so excited to own them. And I'm excited that you own them. I'm really happy that you have them. Let me see if I have them so I can show you. Just one more time with the ghosts. There they are. Designed so they look like little specters illuminated on your shelf. Took a lot of work, took a lot of dedication, and took a lot of support from you guys. So if I can give one piece of advice to dear Bob Iger, who will he be happen to listen? Who knows? But the fact is, as the come here, get away, Imagineer, my advice to you is an advisory committee. You will be so relieved, so happy, so thrilled at how easy and simple your job will become. Now, it won't be the whole job. You're going to have things that you're going to be challenged with, but you're also going to have things that you're going to be thrilled to not have to think so hard about. And everything will be a win, i.e. the 50th anniversary of Disneyland, not Walt Disney World, of Disneyland. Disneyland's 50th anniversary was a huge, amazing, killer, off-the-chart success. People held their wallets because they needed to eat. I hope I can get through here without spending all my money. And they always spent their money. Why? Because the advisory committee told them what they wanted to see for the 50th anniversary. Disney did that, and people just could not hang on to their money. They walked out with, they just went crazy. It was one of the most exciting experiences that we had, and we'll never forget it. And the merchandise was amazing. Why? Advisory committee. So there you go. Soapbox done. I second that, says Sydney. Patty Fox, how are you? Good morning, Terry. Have a great weekend. You too, my love. Thanks for stepping in and wishing us a great weekend. That's so sweet of you. Including Toby Froud, who was the baby in Labyrinth. He worked on this film, as well as another stop motion film you should all watch, Kubo and the Two Strings. Now, Kubo, my dear friend Tamara, she is amazing, amazing builder. She did the little character that's with Kubo. Was it a monkey? It's been a while since I've seen Kubo. Now, Kubo, I absolutely adored, but a couple of things that weren't working in Kubo. Voices that are too recognizable, and we're thinking more about the voice than we are the character. So if you're ever casting for a film of your own, you filmmakers out there, don't make the voice so notable that it overshadows what you're trying to do with the storytelling. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with animation, is they get a lot of high-end actors and we're sitting in the theater seat. Tell me you haven't done this. Who is that? That sounds like, who is that? That sounds like, wait a minute, I almost have it. And you're missing the movie because you're so busy trying to figure out who the character is. So Kubo had this problem in a couple of areas. And also the third act is always weak in a lot of these. You have to be careful that you come in strong with your first act, keep it going in your second act, and then really bring it in your third. Okay, Corpse Bride has the same problem. And so you just, it's really rolling, and then something sort of goes, and in the end, it's just trying to catch up with itself again. So in Kubo, it's the same deal. Beautiful to look at, gorgeous film, puppets exquisite, sets amazing, opening unbelievable, middle fantastic, third act. And so that's something when you're doing it. And as I delve into stop motion, I'm going to be working to make good, but I want to do shorts. Okay. I don't want to do any long, big things. I just want to do a short simply because I want to learn about the genre. I love the genre, and the best way to learn about a genre is to do it. So I'm so excited. That's one of my goals for next year, is to work on learning and experiencing more stop motion in my life. So, yeah. But I do think it's a must see. I will go with Adam on that. It's a great movie, and the work is just Gorgeous. Sadly, folks, looking for me at Disneyland. I will not be working this weekend as I will be attending the Los Angeles Comic-Con. Yes, Adam has a thing about Comic-Cons. You know, we all have our other pleasures in life, and he loves Disney, but he also loves Comic-Con and cosplay. He's also a really good photographer. So he's off to the LA Comic-Con. Lots happening this weekend. I don't know why Comic-Con would do it in December. Maybe because it's in time for Christmas, you could buy that special yummy thing. That must be it, right? Yeah. Love to get a booth there. June Martinez, how are you? Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Oh my God, I remember seeing that commercial. Yeah, crazy, huh? Yeah, I've done a lot. I've done a lot of weird stuff. It's funny. I look at it and I go, man, this girl's crazy. She did a lot of weird stuff. I think I saw that Cup of Noodles Japanese commercial. Yeah, you can Google it. Seafood noodle. I'll bet you'll find it. I can't even tell you the year, but I think it's in my chronology that my friend Joshua did. Pages and pages. And it's interesting because when I speak, when you speak for corporate, okay, or you speak for a body of people that are not a school, not a college, not K through 12 or high school or college or any kind of educational, they want you to give them a Cliff Notes, like 1-page description of yourself. So, you know, you send them to your website and say, read that. Or go to my Wikipedia page. It kind of helps. But schools want to read everything about you. They are readers. And so I have this 24-page document that my friend Joshua Schaefer of everything that I've done in my life. And when I read it, it's quite interesting because I'm like, wow, I did a lot and I don't even believe it myself. But the thing is he keeps changing it because as I tell these stories, he goes, that's not in there. And he adjusted. That's not in there. And he adjusted. But my point is schools love to read this document. They don't care it's 24 pages. They don't care if it's 30 pages. They don't care if it's 100 pages. They want to read the whole document. They don't want the Cliff Notes. They want the whole story. And it's very flattering when I give them a quick bio and they go, we heard about this document. Can we read that? And you go, yeah. And you send it off in an email attachment and whatever, and they read it. So it's very cool. And so, yeah, these Japanese commercials were something that were a lot of fun for me as I played the baby. Played the little kid. It was just really fun. He's an honorary member of the tribe in my book. Well, they all are honorary members of the tribe, okay? But here's the thing that's beautiful about the tribe, and I got to say this about Terry's tribe. There are people that they love and admire, Disney legends, etc., etc. And at one point, I asked if they should be grandfathered into the tribe for free. And it was voted on by the tribe. And the answer was no, because if they're vested, they can pay the $5 a month. They can show their support for being a part of it. It's because we're not asking $100 a month. We're not asking $20 a month, just $5 a month. So they can easily show their support. And there are many who are in there that do. Okay. I'm not going to name names, but there are some very, very wonderful people that you all admire that are in this tribe that don't always get to see them, but they have put in because they support this artist, and I appreciate it. Helps me. So but I was proud of my tribe because they said, you know, if we can do it, they can do it. They should be able to do it even easier than us. And I thought that was really sweet. You know, that's really nice because you don't get in on what you've done. You get in because you want to be a part of it. And that means you got to put skin in the game too. And good for them. So like I said, the tribe is a great group of people. You're not going to find anyone like them. You're not going to find anything like this group. I am really brag all the time about my tribe. I mean, there are people on Patreon who are making gazillions dollars, and I don't think they have the followers I have, to be honest with you. The ones I've got in the tribe are USDA choice, man. And I wouldn't trade them for the world. I'm so proud. Few, but wonderful. You know, like I said before, you don't need 1,000,000 diamonds, but diamonds are a nice thing to have in your group. And every single one of those people in the tribe is a diamond. And I'm grateful for each and every one of them. And if you think you're someone who wants to be a part of that, then please join us. Check us out for a month and see if we foot the bill for you. And if not, we understand. You know, we certainly don't want you to stay if you don't like it. You know, we want to support you, want you to be a part of it. If it's not for you, don't come. Change the channel. Seriously, not being mean, just honest. We're going to tell you the truth, every single one of us. Yep. And it's great. Doug Jones is amazing. I love him. He is. He's the best. He is really a lovely, warm, kind person. And when you get a hug from him, it's like being hugged by a spider. He's such a thin, wiry fellow, but he's a really lovely guy. He's a really, really lovely person. And it's an honor to be called friend by him as well. And here's another one, Mark Silverman. Worked a day on Monkey Boy, and I voiced a few characters. That doesn't surprise me, Mark Silverman. And those of you who watch the, if you go to my Patreon page and you watch the welcome video, Mark does a voice in that for me. And he is just great. Mark is a great guy. Hi, Mark. It's so good to see you. So yeah, like I said, he's not a part of the tribe. He should be, but he's a great, great fellow. And he did that in my welcome video. And I was always grateful. And he did it just because he's a good guy. He came over, we served him breakfast, and he did it for me as a favor. And it's really wonderful to have the Tower of Terror voice person. And for my father, Mark Silverman will always be Maxwell Smart. And often when I was with Mark, I'd have him do Maxwell Smart, and I'd play it for my dad. My dad just gets so touched by Mark's impression of that particular character, Don Adams. Right? Don Adams? Yeah. So really really special. Thank you for joining us, Mark. Adamson, as people in the tribe remember, I blew Terry's mind when I showed her the Betty Bovine monkey bone action figure that's on sale on eBay. Yeah, that was like, what? And I almost bought her, but I was like, what? I didn't even know they did a Betty Bovine action figure. That's the thing that really surprised me was there. I couldn't believe it. You know, people send me Marshmallow Man and my terror dog and some really lovely things from Ghostbusters, really amazing things that you built, made, created, or have found. And then, yeah, you're right, Adam. When you showed me that, I was like, what? Really blown away on that one. I didn't even think they even bothered. You know, but cult films are cult films, aren't they? And apparently Monkey Bone is becoming a cult film, a cult classic. Can you believe that? Wow. Yeah. Brendan Fraser is so wholesome. I love him and so glad he's back in acting. Yeah, he had a 4-year battle to come back. Uphill swim like a salmon. And the story is amazing. So again, another movie you want to make sure you support and see is Whale. I can't wait to see it. I'm hoping I get a screening. I just keep saying, come on, because I would really love to support him and cheer him on, which I'm doing now, but would love to do it in front of his face, you know. Hi, Terry. How are you? Says Mike. I remembered when the announcer says, this is CBS back in the 80s. Yes, right? Or as a little kid, you know, dun, 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 and then because there was not around the clock TV. Really amazing. And entrepreneurs look at that and said, how can I fill that space? I wish I had been somebody like that, because I've talked to some people that exactly what they did. And now they're gazillionaires because they, you know, they have that thinking. And sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. I didn't at the time. Absolutely. Brendan Fraser is very talented. He is. Between this and the performance in Doom Patrol, a surreal comic book TV series I highly recommend. I cannot sing his praises enough. And I think he deserves everything for his performance in The Whale. I can't wait to see it. I haven't heard of Doom Patrol. Where is that? And is it like Doom, the game? And, am I going to get motion sick? Adam, you know how I get motion sick just watching video games. So kind of fill me in on that one. I'm looking forward to seeing The Whale and Brendan Fraser's performance. I loved him in Gods and Monsters. Me too. Oh my gosh. Knocked me over with a feather because I really didn't think he had it in him. And then I was able to sit with him in Monkey Bone and say, why aren't you doing more of that? And he said, oh, from your lips to God's ears, I'd love to, but I'm just not getting the opportunities. So I knew he was capable of great role, and it looks like The Whale might be it. I hope he's nominated for an Oscar. And given all that, I've heard about it. Yeah, I think it's a contender. Because here's what happens, guys. People believe what they believe of their body of work they saw. And they were looking at Dudley Do-Right, George of the Jungle, and let's face it, Monkey Bone. And they were thinking to themselves, hack. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. But he wasn't. We saw Gods and Monsters, and all of us said, this guy has got what it takes, but you got to look a little deeper. Understand, in Hollywood, they don't necessarily want to look a little deeper. Okay, they want to see what you got, so you can't give up. So what did Brandon do? He didn't give up. 4 years, guys. This doesn't work. He tries something else. This doesn't work. He tries something else. And now, bam, he's got the whale. We may see Brendan Fraser walk off with an Academy Award this in 2023 for 2022. And honestly, that is going to blow the minds of everyone who thought he didn't have what it takes, when those of us who saw Gods and Monsters knew he did. Okay, knew he did. And what a lovely human being. So on top of everything else, not only an actor who's kind of getting the raw end of the stick, but a very lovely person. I think I did 2 films with him. Many of my friends did more. It was just a joy to be around him. A wonderful, lovely man. And, you know, you want to root for him even more because he has a heart, a big heart. So big heart, lovely guy. And now was given this opportunity. Now he's done it. We all just want to cheer him on. And I, for one, in my channel, my humble channel here, Brendan, if you happen to come across it, know we are all rooting for you, my friend, and can't wait to see your film. I really hope I get a screening, and if I don't get a screening, I'm hoping I get a screener, and then if I don't get a screener, I hope to see it as soon as I can. So I'm very, very excited to see it, and I hope it brings you a lot of accolades, because in my heart, you've always been an Academy Award winner. Hello, Sarah Judy Vanderpool. How are you? I love your enthusiasm. Yes, I hope so. Otherwise, change the channel because it doesn't change. Sarah says, I decorated the stage for Candlelight with floral trees, a couple hundred poinsettias for years. I miss it so much. I have to tell you, Sarah, it's going to be a very special Candlelight this year. People are so excited to be out and about with friends. And be careful. It's COVID still. So do your precautions that you need to do, guys. Don't be silly. Wear a mask if you're concerned. It's not going to offend anybody. COVID is still out there. But have a good time and enjoy yourself, because what a joyous occasion. And I'm not staying home because I don't want to go. Well, I don't want to go, but I'm staying home because I've got some screenings that I'm going to see. I'm going to go see Wakanda Forever. And I can't wait. And it's at a Q&A, like I told you about, like Guillermo's. And so I'm very excited to see this. And I don't want to miss it. And that's tomorrow. So I can't do everything, but I really want to do that because I love Wakanda. I love Wakanda because of the strong women. I'm not going to lie. I thought that the Black Panther was wonderful, but what really, really did it for me were the women. Just powerful, powerful women. And I just loved a movie full of powerful women that felt real to me. Okay. The Wonder Woman, I liked it okay, but it didn't feel real powerful woman. I don't know what was missing. To be honest with you, I don't know why it didn't connect with me like it did with so many others. But Wakanda Forever really nailed it for me. The strength of the women, the integrity of the women, and everything. And that's all I can say. I'm not saying that the Marvel Wonder Woman was bad. She was great, but it just didn't resonate with me. Maybe it's because I'm a person of color, but I don't think so. I think that's the surface thing you could say. Terry, you're a person of color. That's why you identified with it. But no, it goes deeper than that. It goes to where I think the characters in Wakanda and in Black Panther were allowed to be inner strong, okay, as opposed to external strong. You know, I don't know. I just thought it was amazing. And as far as the women, okay, there were some things about Black Panther didn't float with me, right? I won't even bother with those. But I will say that the women I just wanted to stand up and cheer when I saw these women doing these amazingly wonderfully strong characters that I love seeing in film. So I can't wait to see Wakanda Forever is what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm very excited for those of you who are going to Candlelight, because Candlelight is amazing. And a lot of hard workers like Sarah here, it takes a village. Okay. They rehearsed last night at 3:00 in the morning. Okay. Because you can't rehearse when the park is open, because everyone is going to watch it. And then they get in your way and they're starting and stopping. So they always do it after the park closes. And then many of them got to work the next day. So because you donate your time to be a part of this, because it's really beautiful. And look at how many do. It's really great. And then schools come. Oh, it is. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. I'm excited. I love dark renditions. Yes, Pinocchio is amazing. I'm obsessed with Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, you're going to love this. This is really something. I had a lot of questions when I watched it, but that's because I'm a puppeteer. So I can't wait to watch it again. I am really champing at the bit. Yeah, to watch it again. Monkey Bone is hilarious, especially when Edgar Allan Poe and Stephen King argue. Blast from the Past, another great Fraser film. Gods and Monsters is an epic film, and had the opportunity to talk. Had the opportunity to talk to Sir Ian McKellen about it, for which he was quite proud. Guillermo's Cabinet of Curiosities was exceptional for its turn at Lovecraftian themes. Yes, my husband is actually, remember I told parents to take a look at something if you're worried it's going to affect the child? My husband actually had to pre-screen this series because in some areas it's very gory, my husband said. So he's marked the ones I should watch and the ones I shouldn't, because I'm not really a big gore fan. So if there's a Guillermo film that is very gory, I usually don't like it, because it's just not, I'm about suspense and scary. And if it's scary, I want it to be suspenseful. And if it's, because that's to me what is scary. And I'm not a real gore nut. So my husband will say, nope. And then I trust him. I just trust him. I don't watch it. So for Curiosities, I only watch certain ones because he's seen it before, but I wanted to see it because I love it. And I have the book, and the book is a lot easier to tolerate because it's still frames, but that affects your brain. And sometimes you have to protect the window to your brain. And that's what I was doing. So David, you're absolutely right. I forgot to mention, says Joe, I tagged you in a post of my profile the other day. I finally watched Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 on Disney Plus and gave my thoughts on it. Suffice to say, I love you, woman. I say this with nothing but love in my heart for you, but you're nuts. This was a terrific show. I don't understand your position on it. Okay, we won't argue about it, but it's wrong. I love you, Joe. I love when you take the opposite side. You're such a darling for it. But yeah, no, I couldn't tolerate it because it's not, a master doesn't forget being a master. Just because you don't ride a bike doesn't mean you don't remember how to ride a bike. And Obi-Wan became the student, not the teacher. And I just didn't believe it. It was a completely unbelievable, it felt like total fakery to me. Yeah. To me, it was fake. And for someone who really delved into Star Wars, I'm known for going to the first film a lot of times, for knowing it really well, for being part of that brand for a while because of my crazy fandom. It doesn't follow the pattern, and it actually blows up in the face. See, the thing with Disney is they tend to reinvent the wheel, and you don't need to do that with Star Wars. There's too many characters wonderfully to be created that you can span off of and tell stories about and make it interesting for us. If you don't believe me, check the years between the last Revenge of the Jedi and then how long it took before we got another Star Wars film. There are writers and creators out there, like the people who created Clone Wars and things like that, that really had teeth, and books that were marvelous. Again, it falls back to asking people. And they could have pulled any book between that section and created some beautiful stuff, because writers came out of that, illustrators came out of that. People like me came out of the Star Wars area, eager to help you protect the brand and tell a good story. And you didn't touch base with all of them. You feel like you have to tell the whole thing without their help, and you really need their help. So yeah, not my cup of tea, just not. I'm glad you liked it, but for me, no. It just did not. It kept hitting. It was like a cracked bell. Nothing rang. Now, Andor, ding. So it's possible. It's just that I'm waiting for more dings, unless, you know, Boba Fett. I was so excited to see Boba Fett. Really hoping that Ben Kenobi would be good. And then this one, ding. So there's some dings in there. I'm not completely against it. I just want you to take some time, understand the body of Star Wars that George Lucas created. It's there for you. And then if you don't know what to do, look to people who do. There are so many. If you look from the end of when George Lucas did Return of the Jedi, we had this void that all of us Star Wars people were hungry. So many wrote stories. Many of them I have, and did animated films, speaking of animation, and they were fantastic. And they had characters that we loved, introduced characters that we loved. And then you have The Mandalorian, which came from a person who, sat in the theater and saw the movie and remembered what it felt like. Okay, that's one thing I love about Favreau, is that he remembers what it's like to be a true fan. Okay, but some of this other stuff that Disney's been putting out, sorry, garbage. Sorry, just not correct. Wrong. Ben Kenobi would have never been the student. Never, ever, ever. Ever. So, think of it. When was the last time you rode a bike? Do you own a bike? You don't own a bike? Okay, 20, 30 years. You think if you get on the bike, you're going to fall off? You're not going to do well? You're going to forget? And that's a bicycle. That's not being the ultimate Jedi of the universe. All right? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm not trying to convince you. Okay, I'm not telling you. You should hate it. You shouldn't. If you love it, you love it. And I love you for loving it. But I did not. You won't be seeing me putting that on my shelf. Nope. Leslie says, I'm a music copyist and do music prep for the recording sessions for film, TV, concerts, Disney attractions. Really amazing woman. My office takes the music on the scores and creates the individual parts for each musician. Doesn't this sound like a cool job? Raise your hand if you're someone in music who would like to be doing what she's doing. It used to be open and ink putting notes on blank music paper, and now we use computers to assist us. We're working on Beauty and the Beast TV special, ABC, on December 15th, I think. And you are going to be a hero for Evan, because Evan just worked on that actual production. My friend Evan Hunter, he was a personal assistant or production assistant on that very film. And he's so excited about it. And we're all going to watch it because Evan was a production assistant on it. Like we're going to see Evan? No. But the fact that he loved it so much and enjoyed it so much, we're all going to watch it because we're excited about it. Because Evan was just, and this is in the tribe, he's sharing with us all the cool stuff behind the scenes, which we love. So yeah, so all of that passion is there. And it's great. It's so fun. But Leslie's job is seriously cool. You need any help with that, Leslie? Not that I'm volunteering, but I can think of a couple people that might be really good helpers for you. Can't wait to see him in something else. He was amazing. I know, right? So exciting. So exciting. Tom Hanks can do some accents. Forrest Gump had an Alabama accent, but his recent accent attempts are just weird. Really weird. Really weird. And if you watch Forrest Gump as many times as I have, probably about 100 times, because I told you I watch movies over and over and over again. Let me just make sure this isn't my father. And it's not. It's so not. Okay. Is that it comes and goes. It comes and goes. But we don't care in Forrest Gump because it softens and it comes up. And he talks about, again, behind the scenes, how he was trying to figure out how to play Forrest as an older person because of this little boy who plays Forrest as young Forrest that does it so well, and that's his accent. Forrest Gump was the way he actually talked. Forrest Gump, and that was the way he talked. So Tom worked with this little boy to really understand the accent, and then work to bring it into modern times. And I agree with you, Joe. Most of the time, it really fits, but sometimes it disappears. But then I like Tom Hanks's voice, so I didn't mind that it disappeared. In Elvis, it's so far from his voice that it's distracting. It's really disturbingly, like you said, weird, distracting. So it's hard for me to watch. I mean, I love that movie because of the young man who played Elvis. I mean, he just rips himself apart to give you all the guts and sinew and blood and bone of that character. And you can see it in his performance. He's just magnificent. Really, really good. But you got to sit through Tom Hanks because he's kind of the star of the movie. It's not really Elvis. But anyway, I digress. I always assumed you needed to have it in theaters for at least one day in both LA and New York to qualify, but it makes sense if it's a couple of days. It's like a week. It's like, I think it was 7 for a while, like you had to have a full week. And now I think it's like 2 weeks or 9 days or something. I could check on it for you. But forgive me. Let me just shut these people up. Sorry, it's rude, but it's advertisers. It's everybody trying to use them for your Christmas. And my family does the lotto. Not the numbers, but we do scratchers because a lot of my family is on a fixed income. And so the beginning of the year, we say $30, and then at the end of the year, it's $30. So they can figure out how to save up $30 to buy 6 lotto tickets. And then we throw them in a big Santa bag. We go to dinner. We have yummy food stuff. We celebrate. We enjoy each other's company. And then we each pick 6 tickets out and see what we've won. And we've done really well. My dad won $200 one year. Pretty nice for $30. Anyway, it's kind of hope. And it's great for my family. They love it. And it doesn't put us into debt, giving gifts to people that they're trying to, and they always do it with love, but it's really hard all the time. And for them, my parents always love to shower you with gifts. They still think I'm probably 10 and I need a lot of presents. And so this way I just say $30, buy the lotto tickets. And usually what they do is they give it to me. I study what tickets are still have the big prizes available. And then I go and I buy the tickets, and then we tear them up and the winners win. Most of my family says they get to keep the money. They don't want to share it with the rest of the family. At the beginning, you say, should we share if people win? And they all say no. It's mine. But they probably would. They just want to be able to delegate it the way they do. Or maybe not. We would find out when they win the big prize. But it gives you a bit of hope. It's very simple for a family. That families in my family that are low income or fixed income, it allows them not to panic. They can be a part of it. And if they are not in California, they can be a part of it too. All they have to do is send me the $30. I buy the tickets. We throw them all in there. And then on video, we'll say, we're pulling out your tickets. And we pull out the tickets and we go, here are your tickets. And you scratch them on video. And it's fun. It's fun. It's really fun. We've been doing it for about 8 years, and it's been wonderful. Been really, really wonderful. Of course, California Lottery loves us, but it's not a ton of money. I think there's only maybe about, let's say it's maybe 10 people, each person putting in $30. So the lotto gets $300, but we get a lot. I mean, my dad last year won $200 on one ticket. Or 2 tickets. Yeah. And he was just thrilled. His heart is as big as Texas, so of course he wants to share with everybody. But others have won 50. I don't think there's ever been. What's really been great is that so many win at least 5, and it's kind of cool. So it's neat. It's neat. And the scratching, we chatter like crazy around it. It really is interactive, so it's fun. So if you have people that are on fixed income and you don't know what to do for the holidays, think about a lotto. Do the $5 tickets, not the $2 or the $1. The $2 and the $1 tickets are the odds are just too big. And but the $5, you really have a chance of winning something, especially if one person goes and buys them all, because there's a theory about the rolls. I won't get into it, but this is one of the reasons that stuff really is fabulous, fantastic. So so it's fun. It's fun, and they love it, and I love it too. So only time I really buy scratchers is holidays. So I'm looking forward to doing that for them. But there you go. Tom Hanks also did a New England accent in Catch Me If You Can. Ouch. Not sure if that was successful or a failure. Ouch. Though it might have been like Dick Van Dyke's infamous Cockney accent in Mary Poppins. Tom Hanks went in and out of that accent like he was playing the hokey pokey. Again, why do we even care? It's Tom Hanks. I know Tom as an actor may want to do accents, but here's the thing: study, get with someone. If he can do it for a little while, mainly he needs to learn how to maintain it, to hang on to it. So because it's inauthentic if you keep bouncing in and out of it. I don't know how many of you saw Gucci, which honestly, I had no idea what they were doing with that film. And everyone was a talking like this. How do Italian people even love a movie where they're all talking like this? You go to my home. And I'm like, what the heck? When I watched it on a screener, and I kept thinking, I kept looking, is this the real movie? Because it was so awful. And then in the middle of the movie, if you haven't seen this movie, they stop. They stopped doing the what's the matter, except for one guy. He still didn't get the memo. So he still talks like this. And it's just, it's so awful. It's so, it's so awful. The only person who maintains their performance through the whole thing is Lady Gaga. And thank God she was in the movie, or I would not have been able to watch it because it was so painful. Once they dropped the accents, it was a lot easier to do until this one guy who didn't get the memo came in and talked like this through the whole movie. And I don't know if you're an Italian person how you feel about something like this, but it was just a comic. It was like watching Saturday Night Live video, maybe, where they're kind of trying to be funny, but it was serious. So if you get to see this movie, it might blow you away because it was so bizarre. It was just, Gucci was like, oh, and it was nominated. And you're like, but why? I mean, I don't know who they knew, but wow. Woo, woof is what I have to say about that. And so in Catch Me If You Can, it was really hard to deal with Tom Hanks's accent because it came and went and came and went and came and went. For me, I just let it go because I really think Tom Hanks earns the right to not do an accent. I don't know. I love watching him in films. So either that or study and then dazzle me with a good accent. And then I'm the first to sing your praises, buddy, because I love you. I think you're a great performer and I always enjoy watching you. So it's not personal, believe me. There's a great story about Walt Disney wanting to get the first true life adventure, Seal Island, in theaters to qualify for an Academy Award. Roy would not place the film in theaters, so Walt arranged behind Roy's back and scheduled screenings in the theater to qualify. It won. The day after the ceremony, walked Roy's office and threw the Oscar at him. Probably didn't throw it. It's a very heavy statue, but probably went thunk. There. Stop telling me what to do. And Walt, what did he do, guys? Say it with me. Never gave up. Okay. I think that's going to be on my tombstone, except for I'm going to be cremated. It's going to be never give up. Terry says, never give up. You must never give up. That's the message. And that's what this channel is about. I think when I do I can't figure out how to do the little advertisement about what my channel is about. I think that's what I'm going to do in 2023 is say, this is the channel whose motto and mantra is you. That's you. Each and every one of you out there must never give up. Okay. If someone tells you your idea is stupid, silly, ridiculous, and why bother, you know you're onto something. True stories. I have a ton of them. You know you're onto something, and don't give up. And then, like Walt, slam that puppy down right in front of him. Just remember the pet walk or the post-it note. That's all I got to say. Wednesdays fixes everything, doesn't it? That movie, such a love. Listen to classical music. Can't dance to that. Or movie scores. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Country Bears, one of the best soundtracks of all. And then The Godfather. Oh, yeah, sorry. See? See, I dance to everything. So can't do it. But thank you. I appreciate the suggestion. Even Star Wars. See what I mean? It doesn't work for sculpting. For me. But thank you, Joe. It's a lovely suggestion. How have you never heard Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You? Because I don't listen to contemporary music. I do not listen to contemporary music. I do not. If I listen to music, it's the stuff I grew up with. So I love being introduced to stuff like that. Like I was at this party and I heard it and I thought it was nice, but you know what I did after? Put Nat King Cole's chestnuts roasting on an open fire. It's just who I am, guys. It's nothing against Mariah Carey. Number one Christmas song, I understand. Mwah! Good for you, girl. But for me, yeah, it's always going to be chestnuts roasting on an open fire. It's just the way I go. Or Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives. It's everywhere. It's played to death. Even Mariah herself jokes about it. Yeah. It's adorable, isn't it? First time I've heard it ever was at a party I was at in Virginia. Yeah, I went to dinner with a bunch of those people, all those lovely, wonderful, collaborative young people, and they played it. And they said, let's play Christmas music, and it was it. It was kind of like Bruce Willis's, my expression was like Bruce Willis' expression when he's sitting in the limousine during Die Hard, and it's a rap song about Christmas. It was a quarter to da 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 da, and he goes, "Don't you have Christmas music?" And he's like, "This is Christmas music." It just cracks me up. That's exactly what I thought. I love Mariah Carey. I think she's very, very good, and I thought the song was very nice. But when it comes to my go-to, it's not that one. So again, I'm showing my unicornness, aren't I? Nat King Cole's Christmas song and anything from Rankin Bass shows, their Christmas music lives rent-free in my mind. Absolutely, Adam, and I love that. Put one foot in front of the other from Santa Claus is Coming to Town and Fred Astaire's cover of the title song. That's Christmas for me. And I agree with you. That's me too. You know, there's always tomorrow, you see. So, yeah. So, Yep. Why am I such a misfit? I am not such a nitwit. Just because my doors close. Why don't I fit in? Sorry, Mariah. It's always going to beat you. But congratulations to you. Also, the Temptations' California Raisins cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, I think I remember that one. I'll have to listen to that one again because I remember it kind of as the animation, but I don't remember the track of it. But that would be a fun one. Oscar sends his hugs. Hugs to Oscar Martinez. Are you going to Disneyland at all, you guys? At the Christmas holidays? That would be a Christmas present for anyone eating at that restaurant to see Oscar. And you, June, I think that would be like, yay, trifecta. Honestly, June Martinez, is Oscar okay, says Joe. Exactly. You can't have sadness without joy, and vice versa. Extremely ironic because Disney addresses that in Inside Out, like literally. But again, the third act fails in Inside Out. It falls flat. And I was really sorry to see that. So this is what I'm talking about. The whole movie has to be strong, and you know, if it's not working, don't keep doing things that aren't quite working. Make it, you know, make it real. You know, be real about it. Be authentic. Be your authentic self, even when doing films. Walt Disney traumatized generations of children in his films. That's why we love him. Okay, that's not exactly why we love him, but we love him despite the fact it was traumatization. It just made you know that it's life. Okay, Old Yeller, which is my cousin, my 6'6" cousin's favorite movie, is because the devastating feeling you have at this dog that you've fallen in love with, your heart breaks with, it breaks with the boy, and then there's that nice third act finish. But as a human being, who hasn't grieved over a death of their little furry friend? And it feels just like that. Your pet doesn't have to get rabies, but your pet dying is devastating for you. And that's what Walt was telling in the story of Old Yeller, is helping you to understand and prepare you for a death like this that will and often occurs in your family, especially when you have furry friends in your life. And some of them can be absolutely teeth-jarring, challenging to rise above once you've lost that beautiful being. So this helps you in many cases. I felt, you know, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that every valley has a peak, and just hang on. You can do this. You can do this. You have the power because you're a human being. We both are. Watch Terry. I love you, June. Thank you. You guys ought to join the tribe. You guys would be a hoot in the tribe. We'd love to have you there. You two would be a hoot. Your whole family would be a hoot. Meeting your family during the award ceremony was just a kick. They were all lovely. The modern day Disney executives don't have the cojones to traumatize kids. They play it safe because they're corporate stooges, or they're doing fear. Okay, when you run a company by fear, when you make movies through fear, i.e., copying every animation thing you have and doing live action that we don't care about, it's never going to work. You don't do it with fear. You do it because hello, Disney is creative. Jim Henson Company is creatives. That means you create. You don't copy. Sometimes it's okay to retell a story, but don't copy. Don't say, okay, we did these animations, so let's do a live action. I mean, it's lazy and we don't care. And most of them are terrible. So don't waste your money on that. Okay. And get an advisory committee. They will help you understand why you don't want to do that, why you want to create. And you have the power, Disney. You have the power. You're Disney. You can do it. Trust me. Who is that, if I may ask? Who is who? Be more specific, Sarah, and I will tell you. Also, please see Strange World, folks. Yeah, Adam is telling you, check this movie out for yourself. Don't listen to social media. Don't listen to the hype. Check it out and see what you think, okay? And if you love it, give it some love, okay? Because I'm feeling these Country Bear vibes. To be honest with you, the social media did this to Country Bears, and the people got afraid who were doing it, who were making the movie. In post, they changed it, and I don't think it was for the better. It's a fun, wonderful movie still, but it would have been so much better had they gone with the original concept. And they just got afraid because people were nailing it and telling people how terrible it was going to be, and no one had seen it. And this is the point, you know. Joe Penny, and I'm going to single him out here, didn't not watch Obi-Wan Kenobi and then tell me he loved it. He watched it, said he loved it. By the way, I love you, but I liked it. But he didn't say he hated it or he didn't like it by not watching it. I mean, who does this? And why do you do this? This is behavior that is silly to me. Silly behavior to listen to others to tell you what you should think. about a movie. And I think The Strange World is getting a bit of that. I don't know. I have to watch it. I may turn out I don't like it, but I certainly am going to go see it. I'm going to see it, before I give you my opinion. But I really felt like they were getting dealt the country bear jab like we got when we were doing it. We got blasted. We did terrible at the box office. A complete because social media just annihilated us. And that going up against Austin Powers, where everybody was going gaga over Austin Powers at the same time that Country Bear came out. They were coming out with their sequel, and everybody went to see that. But the good news is, once it went to DVD, it became the number 5 top family film. Top 10. Top 5. So it goes to show you that people really did love it. It just didn't get a chance. So hopefully this is the case for Strange World. So good for you, Adam, for doing that plea. Would you have a chance to speak to him in person? Brendan? Fraser? Maybe. I won't say no, but maybe. I once saw Halle Berry speak on Monsters Ball. I was in the audience and I stood up and she recognized me and we hugged. So I ran. She had me come down on stage and she gave me a big hug because we had done Flintstones together. So you never know. You never know. You never know. If that's who you're talking about, Brendan. The monkey is Kubo's main companion. Yes, the monkey was done by my dear, wonderful friend, Tamara Humes. Tamara Carlson. Tamara Carlson. Yeah, she's an amazing, she's amazing. She's just amazing. She's done so many films. You should Google her. She's amazing. Tamara Carlson. She's quite brilliant. And she did the monkey in this. So she's very, very good. She said though, that not all things are rosy. That's what she said to me. But she did a great job on that. We are a diamond in the rough. I don't even think you're rough. I think you guys are beautiful, sparkly, wonderful, glorious beings. And you'll know what I mean when you see Pinocchio. So go see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Doom Patrol is on HBO Max. If you've seen Umbrella Academy, I tried. It didn't resonate with me. Think of it like a better version of that dark comedy mystery series about people with emotional issues who just happen to be people with superpowers. Okay, think darker X-Men, Fantastic Four. Fraser voices a character called Robot Man. I like Fraser. So it's not a lot of moving, so that I'll get motion sick. Okay, because Doom, that game Doom, my son used to play it and I had to close my eyes whenever he moved. And then he would tell me to open my eyes and he battled. So I could watch him battle in the video game. And then he'd go, okay, Terry, close your eyes. And I'd close my eyes while he moved around because I got sick. Watching it on TV, guys. So there you go. And needless to say, it wasn't an opinion about video games. It's that so you don't want to get sick watching video games. And they love doing that, don't they? The gun and it tracks and no, not for Terry. Incidentally, one of those movies you worked on was Monkey Bone. Yeah, exactly. You'll love Wakanda Forever. Powerful women all around. I know. I've seen a couple of previews and then I haven't seen anything. So I'm excited tomorrow. And then to maybe hear some of them speak would be amazing. Strange World has powerful women. Everyone go see it. See, Sydney says good too. See, guys? Hear it here. LOL, says Sarah. Dawn, hello, Dawn. Hi, Terry. Have you ever heard of a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas about Jack and Sally and their children? It's a rumor. I've heard it for a long time. Please be true. Please be true. That you'd have to talk to Henry Selick about. Even though Tim Burton was the writer and creator of these characters, Henry Selick was the animator. And so I would see if Henry Selick would do it. I think that might be very interesting. However, I heard, do you guys watch Downton Abbey? In Downton Abbey, I remember I hadn't really come to Downton Abbey until the whole series was done. It just wasn't something that I wanted to be invested in because it was so long. But once I got into it, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful series. And it just keeps getting better. You want to talk about a writer who can kick butt and take names. That is these people, but this person. But I digress. The writer said about the two young lovers that we were hoping would get together, Matthew and Mary. When they finally get together, we are joyful and upbeat and excited. But the writer cautions that afterwards, when everything is so blissful and fun and hearts and flowers and butterflies, no one wants to see it because honestly, that's not life, is it? So they knew that they couldn't have a happily ever after moment for a lot of these characters that we love because it's boring. And that's what they point out. There's got to be it's life. You stumble and scrape your knees. You pick yourself up, and it doesn't mean it has to be devastating tragedy, but it can't just be It's a Wonderful Life, life, meaning not It's a Wonderful Life the movie, but that the life is always wonderful. I think that's why they are cautious about doing this here, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. Absolutely, I think it would be fun to do something like that, but it would take really good writing because you want it to be interesting and real, authentic to the characters. Okay, take the personality of Jack and the personality of Sally and really delve into who they are as individual people, and then how does that work now that they're together? How does that affect the world around them, and how does the world around them affect them? Follow me? So that it would be lovely if they did it, but it's not something you can do overnight. It's something you really have to put your mind and your heart into. Adam says that's mostly a fan fiction that's been hovering around internet. Sadly, the good taken as a rumor. There are official comic book sequels from Tokyo Pop, most of which star Zero, and the video game Oogie's Revenge, but sadly or thankfully, depending on what you ask, no sequels are being made at this time. Yeah, but he says, as Adam says, at this time. Yeah. Kenobi didn't forget being a master. He was going through a crisis of faith. Because of Anakin's seduction of the dark side and genocide of the Jedi, his faith in things were challenged. He had to proceed carefully just to stay alive, but I think you're overstating the becoming the student thing. He didn't literally become a student. We can all still learn even after we master things like Kenobi. It's no different. Yeah, but when it comes to your death, you fall back on that of which you were trained for, which he didn't do. Kenobi didn't do it. I don't care if you're in seclusion. I don't care if you're upset. I don't care if you're mixed up or messed up, because a lot of people are mixed up and messed up, right? Look at Lone Wolf and Cub. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. But you can be mixed up, messed up, screwed up, sad, devastated, but when it comes to your survival, your instincts kick in. Did not see it with Ben. Okay? I didn't see it. And so, lovingly, Joe, we could go back and forth on this forever, but the bottom line is we won't convince each other, and nor we should. But we should respect each other for what they're saying, because I understand your position, and I can see now why you liked it. But for the very reasons you like it were the very reasons I didn't. So we just have to agree to disagree. But I love that you took this position. You know I did. You know I did. You know I'm not blowing smoke on this. I mean, and there's several people who love Ben Kenobi too. I just don't happen to be one of them. Yeah. And I'm a dyed in the, my husband says I'm a dyed in the world purist when it comes to Star Wars. Okay. Very few people know it like I do, the original films, because I really got into it, dissected it, reconstructed it, chewed it up, breathed it, ate it, lived it. So those first three films are, and the third one was a little precarious for me, Return of the Jedi. But the first two of them, and the books that I read of George Lucas's journey, I just would have rather seen that journey. I mean, I'm being honest. And a lot of people didn't see that journey. So does that affect my thoughts when I'm seeing some of these things that they're doing? Yeah, it does. It does. And then in the timeline that has made it to the screen, there are some things that they did in Kenobi that just can't happen, because it then makes some of the things that happen in Star Wars not true, and Star Wars came first. So am I being over detailed about it? Sort of what do they call them? My husband calls them rivet counters. You betcha. Yeah, with this film, yeah. So for me, that's it. I'm a rivet counter. I want you to be true to the story, true to the brand. And I don't think they did that with Kenobi or Boba Fett. Sad for me because I wanted them to be fabulous, and they just weren't. They just weren't. And in some cases, things felt very lazy, like they phoned it in, and that just doesn't make me happy at all. So there you go. That's my position, and I love yours. I think it's great, and I think that everyone can learn. They can, but that wasn't the case with Ben. He was attacked by Vader all the time. Vader was not teaching him. Vader was looking to kill him. Okay. And when in doubt, your instincts persevere during survival. You go automatically into survival mode. So not authentic, not believable. To me. I'm going to add to me. And that, guys, is a good debate, because you don't say to your person, if you're having a debate about something that you love or you disagree on, you do not attack the person. You talk about the story itself, because the person has a right to their opinion, because guess what? We live on Earth, and that's the way Earth should be. And we live in America. So don't hate or dislike someone for their opinion. Just know that you're going to have to agree to disagree on some things. And you just love them for stating their opinion, as I do Joe. I just adore Joe, because he comes up with his opinion, and sometimes it gets him in trouble. But not with me. But I love to hear, sometimes he'll say, "Oh, I did it again. I got on my soapbox and I've been banished to the cornfield for 30 days. He'll often write and tell me that. And I admire him, because he doesn't hold back. And that's what I love about Joe Pitty. So thank you, Joe. Dick Van Dyke's accent never was a concern for me in Mary Poppins. It was a grand fantasy. I agree with you too. Again, it's Dick Van Dyke, so who cares? I mean, at one time I'm a stickler for detail. And another time I turn around and say, Mary Poppins is so cool. Okay, maybe the accent doesn't hold, but I don't care. It's a great movie. So there you go. It's you kind of pick your battles, don't you? And you can tell I'm picking mine right now. You see it? You're right before your eyes. There I go. Right? There I go. Yeah. Yeah. I also didn't mind Hank's accent in Catch Me If You Can, because the movie itself was great. And I saw it for the first time in full this year. It is a fun movie. People say it's a lie. I don't know. Again, I don't care. If the movie is a good ride and it turns out not to be true, who cares? It was a fun ride, right? I mean, is Tron real? Not to my knowledge, but do we love Tron? Yes. So who cares? Maybe that's not the best example, Adam, but that's how I kind of feel. Through. Yes, I know what you meant. I do the same thing, David. So I just autocorrect, but I don't, do things like you say, how are you doing? And it doesn't come, I won't say it. It's a Mario. He's gonna get, it's a Mario. He's gonna get you a pizza pie. See what I mean? Doesn't that fun? Don't you find that, like, if you had to listen to that for a whole movie, would you be enjoying it? After people are getting upset at some of the things that they do to describe certain nationalities of people. I don't know. I found it to be, and then they stop in the middle. Like when you're rehearsing and everybody is doing this, and then you stop, then you film it all the way through with normal voices. But I am telling you, in Gucci, they stop it in the middle of the movie, and your whole body goes, when they stop. It just relaxes. But then you go, did they just do that in the middle of something they filmed and put up for the Academy Award? I mean, you guys got to see it. Tell me what you think, because it is a mind blower that they did this. Unbelievable. Oh, thank you, Adam. Yes, I love that character. Well, of course. Any unicorn misfit, someone who's different, cannot not love Rudolph, can we? And the elf that wants to be a dentist, but everyone says he should make flippin' toys, right? And he thinks he finds a way to fit in by fixing dolls' teeth, and they still think he's a goofball. And aren't we all goofballs at one point enough in our life? If not, I'm sorry if your life has been perfect, but I apologize to you that's very sad, because the journey of a goofball, a misfit, a nut, a unicorn is rough and a lot of fun. But thank you, Adam. That's so kind of you. At home, Oscar and I always listen only to the classic Christmas music, no new music. We love the Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby. They are the best, always the classics. Oh, and you can't forget Tony. You mustn't forget Tony Bennett. You know, but I'm serious. If it's as Joe suggested, if it's instrumental, if it's classical, okay. I love Vivaldi, but you can't sit still to Vivaldi. Classical music, by the way, right? Um, or Beethoven. You just can't. And so the way I can listen to Beethoven is to watch Amadeus, the movie. And I know the movie really well, and I don't dance to it because I'm listening. I've got playing the movie in my head. So there's ways I can listen to movie soundtracks, but it's got to be attached to the movie because it's just, can't I dance to everything. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, so yeah. And Tony Bennett. Yes, I'm with you 100%. Old school Christmas music. Yes. If you've noticed, old school for old school. Whoop, 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 whoop. I tell you, 65 is a great year, guys. I hope you all join me. Social media didn't really exist in 2002 when the Country Bears came out, but there were rumblings in the biosphere among the print media. No, and on the internet. Trust me. But it wasn't social media as we know it, Joe. But oh my God, they managed to get their voices heard on the internet, and it was painful. So that's why for this new movie that Disney put out, I'm just saying I haven't seen it, and I don't know if I'm even going to like it. But I think they got dealt a poison piece of fruit. That's what I think. The poison apple got them. So let's eject the poison apple from them, give them the kiss of life, and let's see if it's actually as awful as they say. Because I don't think so. I think people just made a decision and nailed it. So, did you see The Woman King 2022, Terry? This also a solid film with strong female characters. Very enjoyable. Thank you, Joe. I have that screener. I have not watched it, but I'll make sure I watch the screener. It looked interesting. In fact, I got excited about that one. A lot of movies, I have no idea what they are, though. I got to tell you, got the screeners, and I'm like, what is that movie? What is that movie? I don't understand that movie. But that means watch that movie. Sydney says there's a new book called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and it talks about Sally's origin, and it talks about the other worlds through the doors. I really want it for Christmas. Aha! Are you giving Adam a hint, Sydney? Sounds like a great book to me. Sounds like a good one. You're so cute. Have you seen Arcane? Very strong women in that show. No. What is Arcane? See, there I am. Telling you. I spend time under hot lights sculpting. If I'm lucky. Lately, it's been the battle for my parents. Those of you who take care of your elderly parents. Speaking of superheroes, you must become one in order to protect your parents. And that's what I've been doing. Pow! Bash! Boom! That's what I've had to do. So, fight or flight. Yeah, exactly. Timing on that one. Back then, we called it social media fan sites, but you better believe it. This is back then. Yeah, and they were merciless when it came to the Country Bears because they just didn't believe you should make a movie based on an attraction. And I have to tell you, originally, I kind of felt the same way till I saw the script, until I saw the Bears, because when Henson does something, they do it very well. And they were just wonderful. It was a blessing to be a part of it. In fact, I don't know if I told you, but I cried. I cried when they took me away from the Country Bears. And in the beginning, I auditioned for it. And I went down to Disney Studios and I auditioned they asked me who I wanted to audition for. Most people wanted to audition for Henry or Barry because they were the big roles. But of course, Terry, forgive me, interruption, my friend Scam Likely, but Terry wanted to do Big Al. And I walked in and they were so shocked when I came in and said I wanted to be Big Al. Yep. that they thought that was quite amusing. And I read for Big Al and I loved Big Al. And then a few days later, I was told I was dropped from the troupe at Henson's. That's when I realized that I was in the top 10 puppeteers, but not, repeat, not in the top 5 puppeteers. Stuff happens. Back then, it was devastating. I actually sat in my room and wept. I mean, really cried like I had lost a limb or something, that I couldn't be a part of the Country Bears. This was in 1999. You remember the pain, see? And it was around March, April, and I was just devastated that I couldn't be a part of this movie. They tried to heal my wounds by giving me something. I think that was also the time I built the tiger for Dr. Doolittle, something like that. But anyway, they gave me something because they knew I was very sad, and it was nothing personal. It's just they said drop a puppeteer, and I got dropped. And then in December, I got a phone call from Disney Studios, and Disney Studios said to me, and I'll never forget this, Terri, we want to get your address for the contract for the Country Bears. Now, if you're out there now listening to this, your action is, excuse me, what? And then, could you say that again? And they said, yeah, we've got a contract here for you to do the Country Bears. My heart leapt into my chest, into my throat. And I said, Country Bears? And you want to say, I was fired from Country Bears, but something stops those words, okay? You go, are you sure it's Terri Hardin? And they said, yes. And I said, what characters am I playing? And they said, Big Al and Trixie. And I went, and Trixie? And true story, guys, I tried to get Disney to messenger me that contract over immediately so they couldn't change their mind, because I thought it was a mistake. I had been fired or let go. And the next thing I knew, I wasn't doing one character, but 2 characters. So what am I telling you? Valley. Devastation that I didn't get Country Bears. And I chided myself because I said, why am I so upset about a movie about an attraction? But it was a really good script, and it was a really fun movie. When it got to the screen, it's so different from what it was because they got afraid. And it's too bad, because of those of you who love the movie, it could have been so much better, is all I'm saying. But then the peak was Merry Christmas, Terri. You don't get 1 character, but 2 characters. And what a great film to work on. And I think it was Evan Hunter of Terri's Tribe who sent me an article by a guy who decided to list in his newspaper, the one online, the top 10 worst movies Disney's ever made. And he watched the Country Bears because he thought this was a slam dunk. And I read the article, and he said, but as he watched it and he listened to the soundtrack, he fell in love with it. It's a quirky, weird movie, he admits. But he couldn't give it that label, one of the worst movies. He thought it was great. And 2 of the scenes that he mentioned were mine. And I wanted to write to him. I may still try to track him down. But I was so touched because there's one scene in the Country Bears between Trixie and Tennessee that the 4 performers, the suit performers inside and the puppeteers on the outside, solemnly swore we were not going to allow the filmmakers to do one of those smarmy leap through the fields holding, chiffon, big eyeshadow on the bear as they leap through fields pretending that they're in love. Smarmy, smarmy, smarmy puppet stuff. We wanted you to feel the love between Trixie and Tennessee, and the 4 of us worked like the devil to make it happen. And it wasn't easy, but it really paid off. And I'll never forget, as Denise and Julie and myself and all of the performers who made these 2 bears come to life pulled away, stepped out after we had done the scene, and everybody was crying, including Bonnie Raitt and Don Henley. And Christopher Walken took me by the hand and said, that has to be one of the best moments in acting history I've seen in a long time. I will take that to my grave. Absolutely. What you want to do when you are a performer is to make you look at these characters not as puppets, but as true bears. And I think this is why you love the Country Bears. There are scenes like that, beautiful moments, strong moments. Barry has one, Henry has one, even Al has one. And it's just lovely. If they had left the movie the way they originally had it planned, it would have been a great, great, great fun movie for y'all. But they got scared. And anytime you're motivated by fear, devastation can happen. But luckily, it's still a lovely movie. The soundtrack is incredible. And being a part of it was nothing I'll never forget. You know, we got to sit down with some of the greats in music history. Don Henley, Bonnie Raitt, Elton John. What? Queen Latifah. Shut the front door. You know, I mean, we met creme de la creme. Willie Nelson over my shoulder. Then I had him operate my puppet as I stood over his shoulder. Guys, you can't write this stuff. Okay? No matter what you think about the movie, when you get to be in the presence of some of these icons that you've grown up with, you just can't breathe. Trust me. You just can't breathe. And it's amazing. It is amazing. So Country Bears for me, big, big, big movie. Huge, to quote Julia Roberts. Huge, huge movie. And I'm an honor to have been a part of it. And thank God they gave it to me as a Christmas gift. Love you, Jim Henson and company. Really, really love you. Old school Christmas music. Gregorian chants for the win. Yes. That's my husband. That's the first thing I think he commented. Wow, he had to work on that. He doesn't have a page. You guys got an appearance. Let's go back and look again. He's on YouTube. That's because he's got it from YouTube. Isn't that fun? That tickled me right now. Oh, that's so cute. It's an animated show based on the video game League of Legends. I definitely recommend it. It's really, really fun. Where can I see it, Audrey? You can message me and tell me, but I think everyone else might want to see it because I love this. Do you remember when Adam, you might not have been a member of the tribe, but Adam turned me on to Belle, the story of Beauty and the Beast, but told differently. Such a good movie. Anyway, so I'd love to know that. Yeah, really good movie. Would you watch the Country Bears if they made it Spinal Tap style, like a mockumentary? Sure, I would. In fact, I was a part of Spinal Tap. I just remembered that I was. That's the story for a different time and maybe for Zoom. Also, would you still buy the albums if they were still on tour? You bet. You bet. You bet. Have you played the Country Bears soundtrack? You cannot stop dancing. You cannot stop dancing. It is such a great, great soundtrack. I love it. I love it. Mine's got probably it's tired. I have the CD of it, and I just play that like crazy when I don't have to. If I'm cleaning, it's great to do cleaning while dancing to music because it feels like the cleaning isn't so painful. It's one of the things I don't like is cleaning house. I like to hire other artistic people who love to clean house for that. But that soundtrack is you just never gonna. I'm sorry. You're just if you don't have it, buy it. It is so good. It is so yummy. Straight from the heart of love, Steel Parrot. Straight. Straight. That's what we all love to do because we can't see each other. So that's what we remember. Yeah, love it. Love it. Love it. Not to mention the theme of adoption and found family. It's a great movie all around. It's just so much fun. And sometimes a movie can be really awful, but sometimes a movie can be really lovely because you worked on it. Okay. So I remember, what was his name? I'm trying to remember now. Older actor. And he said he loved doing the movie because even though the movie was a dog, he got to golf most of the time on a beach. You make lemonade out of lemons, don't you? Hi, Lindsay. Oh, look at everybody. See, I told you. Netflix. All right, I'm going to look it up on Netflix. I'm going to check it out. Arcane's on Netflix. I love me some Netflix. So my husband keeps saying, why do you keep wanting to subscribe to Netflix? Because it's Netflix. I love Netflix. It's got some really good documentaries on there, and I love a good document. I love a good what about this? Okay, so I love it. So thank you. Guys, I got to go. It's after 12, and I got to run down to the Social Security office because I got to learn about Medicare. And then when you guys get into the Medicare world, you can ask this old lady, what does it mean? And maybe I can help you understand it better because it is a lot of gobbledygook where it doesn't need to be gobbledygook. I love you guys. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Enjoy a good debate like Joe Penny and I did today and do it with love and caring. And you'll always love debating. This is the thing that makes it so, so wonderful. So thank you, Joe, to you for being bold, for being courageous, and for stepping forward and doing that with me. I love you forever. Have a good day. Thank you from Adam. Dawn says, Terry, you are a captivating story, Terry. Thank you for everything. Thank you for saying so. I love you for that. And you made my day. Have a wonderful holiday. Sarah, we do this every Monday and Friday when I can. So tune in next week for Monday, and I'll see you again. Okay? This is, thank you for the stream. And Joe, you guys are so loving. I mean, these are long. People tell me I should keep them short, and I might later. But these seem to go the way they want to go. So hugs and kissing to you guys. I love you. I will see you Monday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy candlelight. Sing your heart out. Enjoy the holiday.